Welcome inside RE/MAX Field and a happy Canada Day to you. My name is Andrew Peart, getting you set for the Edmonton Prospects, entertaining the Moose Jaw Miller Express for the first time this year. And for the Prospects, coming in chock full of confidence after a big win on the road, a series win in Weyburn, taking 2 of 3 from the top team in the East Division. Fireworks expected after the game, fireworks expected on the field here in front of a near capacity crowd in the beautiful Edmonton River Valley. To further get you set for tonight's action, we'll send it up to the men who have the call, Al Coates and John Belmont.
Very much, Hunter, and good evening, everybody. John, I'm going to be in my 65th year in this earth in about 1 month's time, and so I can remember probably 59 years of that 65. This is the coldest July 1 I've ever seen.
It is for me, too, and you know, I've been around a little longer than you. It is cool out here tonight.
It'll get worse if the wind comes up. We do have a little bit of wind, but right now it's kind of negligible. A low overcast sky. Temperature might be 50 degrees Fahrenheit, maybe a little bit more. Beautiful day yesterday, but we didn't play yesterday. The Prospects, though, have been on the road a whole lot. In the month of June, they played a total of 23 ball games, 14 on the road, 9 at home. And last 9 ball games out of 10. The last 9 out of 10 ball games have been away from home, so it's time for a little home cooking.
It really is, and we hope the team come back and just they're relaxed, ready to go, play a good game today.
Here we are, July 1, now the month of July. A total of 24 ball games will be played, 13 at home, 11 on the road, and 4 of the next 6 right here at RE/MAX Field, including a 3-game series getting underway tonight with the Moose Jaw Ball Club, the Moose Jaw Miller Express. Our last telecast was just a really well-pitched ball game. It was a 3-2 victory for the Lethbridge Bulls. The Prospects coughed up a couple of runs early, but not a sniff afterwards. Got 2 runs, came very close to tying the ball game up, but that's not how it went. Let's take a highlight look at that last home game against the Lethbridge Bulls. Yesterday, the Mavericks came away with a victory. There's a ball that's belted in a great big hurry deep down the line in left field. You can wave that one goodbye. That was a goner from the crack of the bat, a 2-run shot by Grant Carey on a pitch out and over the plate. And those are the kind of pitches you throw at 5 o'clock in batting practice, not a 7:05.
That's exactly right, and just got up over the plate, the last place you ever want to put this ball.
And here comes the pitch. There's a ball that's belted out into right field. Travis Hunt's on a long run back. He's at the warning track. He'll have to play the carom off the wall. And that ball was smoked by Ashton Roy. He got all of it, nails a double off the wall and right and gets a run batted in. It is. There's a 1-1 pitch, and the ball is belted out into center field. The catch is made here by Bostad. That'll produce a run, and the Prospects are on the board. Runner goes, and the ball is belted into left field. That ball has got some carry on it. It's going to score a run. It'll be an extra base hit. As pulling in a second is Travis Hunt. He smoked that ball to the wall. The tying run is now in scoring position. There you have a look at it. That was one of the better pitched ball games of the season. That occurring about 10 days ago right here at the ballpark on a cool, clammy, overcast day, much like we have here today. It is Canada Day, though, and I guess we'll let our hearts warm ourselves up. The 152nd birthday of this great Dominion of Canada. Time now to go back down onto the field to play as we get the opinion from both dugouts.
Joined now by Prospects manager Jordan Blundell. And Jordan, you guys coming off a big series win in Weyburn. Just what did you like from the group that led to that series win over one of the top teams in the league?
Yeah, it was a dogfight. It's a baseball term, but it was a battle right from the first game. Excuse me. You know, we went down in the first game, and the guys responded and put some runs up, got it even, and you know, we might have got a break or two that game offensively, and we're able to get the win. And the middle game didn't go our way. Their guy was extremely special, shut us out the whole time, and you know, we went into game 3 with the clear heads, and it was a new day, and put some runs up and held on late.
Does that show maybe the maturation process of this group, be able to park that loss on Friday and come back with a great response on Saturday?
Yeah, I think for sure that's a good sign. You know, we're a confident group. If we're able to play our game consistently, we feel good about the possibility of getting a win. It's now the test is to be consistent as much as possible and find that groove and give ourselves opportunities to win.
Hunter Boyd's going to take the bump today. Obviously a special pitcher having a special season. Is there anything that needs to be said to him, or is it just go up there and chuck?
No, yeah, we don't talk to him. I don't even know his middle name, that kind of thing. No, he's a good guy, a great person. He's obviously been successful for us on the mound. Today's his day. I don't generally get involved with the pitcher on their day. He's got his own set of habits and routines that he likes to follow, and we're excited for him to get this opportunity.
Biggest game of the regular season, Canada Day, always special. Parking lot's already packed, going to be a great crowd on hand. Is it one of those things where maybe you talk to the group and say, soak this in, enjoy it, it's going to be a great atmosphere here this evening?
Oh, for sure. From the coaching standpoint, it's just another game. We want our guys to be focused and not feel like the moment's too big for them. But it is a cool event for us, and they know that too. I feel like everybody's loose. I think they're ready to go, and with Hunter on the mound, we'll get a chance to win the game. So hopefully we play well behind them.
Thanks for this, Jordan. Best of luck tonight.
Thanks, Andrew.
Joined now by Moose Jaw Express manager Richard Sorensen. And Richard, we'll start with this. First trip into Edmonton this year. Tell me a little bit about your ball club and the way the season's gone so far.
Well, it's been a little bit up and down. At first, we were hitting the ball really well. We weren't pitching that well. And then about 2-3 weeks ago, we kind of figured out our pitching. And then, of course, the hitting didn't come around now. So that's why we're at 500. So some days we just don't have any offense, but we pitch really well. And then we'll get in a slugfest. So we're just trying to figure things out a little bit still, but the pieces are coming together.
Schedule consistency has evaded you guys this year with a number of rainouts. How tough is that on a manager, especially in summer ball, to go through trying to juggle that and the schedule sort of being up in the air at times?
It's really hard. At the time, everybody's happy about it because we have a day off. And with our lack of pitching, we don't have a lot of pitching depth. So initially, we're kind of happy about it. But then on the back end in July, we're playing sometimes I think we played 9 games in 7 days. The beauty of it, though, is that we do have most of the doubleheaders are 7-inning games, so that kind of does help in the pitching. But yeah, the rain has not helped us, so we'll see what happens. But right now, our arms are fresh, but we'll see what happens at the end of July.
Tell me a little about Jordy Mcdougal, kind of a local player from Lumsden, Saskatchewan, second-year guy, really hitting the ball well. Just what have you seen from him?
I heard a lot about him before I came here. This is my first year here. And I was really heard that, he kind of struggled offensively last year, but he'll give you everything you want. Man, offensively, he's been our steadiest guy. He's done a really good job. He's kind of a grinder, though. He'll just grind out at bats. He'll dive for the ball. He's just a pleasure to coach. But, his offensive prowess this summer has been something else.
Canada game here at Remax Field. It's always a packed crowd. Is that something that you talk to your players about before the game to just come out and enjoy the atmosphere?
Well, I try to tell them, enjoy the moment and stuff. But, again, it's 60 feet. For the mound, it's 90 feet bases. The baseball is the same, but they're going to be kind of awestruck a little bit when this crowd is here. We did travel to Medhat a little bit. That kind of gave us a little bit of a taste of a loud crowd and a bigger crowd because we don't play, with these kind of crowds. So I think initially they'll, be like, whoa. But I think once the game gets going, I think they'll be fine.
Appreciate this, Richard. Best of luck tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you.
John, Al, back up to you guys.
All right. Thank you very much, Andrew. Other games today in the Western Canada Baseball League here on Canada Day. The China Red Sox are in Lethbridge. They'll have a twilight doubleheader getting underway shortly, if not underway already. The Brooks Bombers are in Fort McMurray tonight. Fort McMurray has won 3 consecutive games. Medicine Hat is in Yorkton, Melville at Swift Current, and the Okotoks Dogs are in Weyburn, so that'll be a clash of the 2 best records in the Western Canada League. Here are the standings. We'll start with the Alberta Division. Okotoks at 20-5, playing .800 baseball. They've won 6 straight, 9-1 in their last 10. They're just a wrecking crew, and they've pulled ahead a 6.5 game lead on the Lethbridge Bulls at 14-12. They've won 2 straight, and they're 5-5 in their last 10. Prospects took 2 out of 3 in Weyburn, 13-14 the record, a game off .500, playing .481 baseball, 8 games back, 4-6 in their last 10. The Fort McMurray Giants are 2 games off a .500 record, 11-13, 8.5 back. They've won 3 straight, 6-4 in their last 10. Medicine Hat Mavericks, last year's league champions, 10-16, 10.5 games out, 4-6 in their last 10. And the Brooks Bombers at 6-19, 14 games back, and they're on the heels of a 4-game skid 2 wins, 8 losses in their last 10. The Weyburn Beavers at 18-5, 783 baseball, 7-3 in their last 10, and they hold on to a 1-game lead on the Regina Red Sox. They got a great record. They're 16-5, a 762 winning percentage, 7-3 in their last 10. Swift Current 57s are 14-9, 4 games back, 6-4 in their last 10 games. Tonight's opposition, a 500 ball club, the Moose Jaw Miller Express, 11 wins, 11 losses, so that's obvious. That's a 500 percentage of winning, 6.5 games out. The Melville Millionaires are 10-15, 9 games back. And the Yorkton Cardinals at 2 wins, 21 losses. And that is the poorest record in the league, 16 back. They've lost 5 games straight, and they're 1-9 in their last 10 games. Scores yesterday from the Western Canadian Baseball League. Brooks defeated Fort McMurray in the opening end of their doubleheader, 3-1. Fort McMurray came back in the second game, 7-2. Medicine Hat defeated Yorkton, 10-8. Melville 5, Swift Current 4. And Lethbridge defeated the Regina Red Sox. The score there was 6-3. I'll give you the starting lineup for the Miller Express. Richard Sorensen, who you just saw a minute ago, the first-year manager of the ball club. And he's penciled them in this way. Eric Merritt, the center fielder, will be the leadoff batter. Zach Campbell will play at second base. He'll bat second. Michael Borst, that's in the 3 spot. He'll play at right field. And the cleanup batter is Darryl Dahl, the first baseman. Jordy Mcdougal, sporting a .342 batting average. Batting the 5 hole. He's playing at third base. Cole Warkin will do the catching. Tucker Zezinich is the left fielder. He bats 7th. Devin Farrell is the shortstop, and he bats 8th. And hitting 9th, the DH, Alex Dzernik. And it'll be Blake Gallagher pitching. He's a big right-hander here today for the Miller Express. Jordan Blondell is penciled in the prospects this way. The leadoff batter at second base is Brendan Luther. Hitting second, the designated hitter is Edgar Harrell. Travis Hunt will play in right field. He'll bat third. And Nolan Walker, the first baseman, in the cleanup position. Jake Geary will do the catching and bat 5th. Javier Ramirez draws into the 6th spot on the order. He'll be the shortstop. Jake McDonald in left field, normally a catcher, but he'll get his legs stretched out today. Play in left field, bat 7th. Davis Pratt is the third baseman, bats 8th. And Tanner Roundy is the center fielder tonight, and he'll bat 9th. Hunter Boyd, who has just been a measure of consistency all season long, we'll look at his statistics in a bit. And he'll be on the bump tonight for the prospects as you get a look at the meeting of the minds at home plate. Our umpiring crew tonight, Darren DeKinder is the gentleman you see with your back to you. He's the ball strike umpire. Don Buskus at first base. Brandon Strachey at second base. And Devin Redekop is the third baseman. Again, it's an overcast sky. It might be 50 degrees Fahrenheit. A little bit of wind blowing from right towards left. But I don't see the flags drifting a whole lot in the poles over the center field wall. Generally, John, you don't really let the climatic conditions change the way you pitch. But it's a pretty good rule of thumb. On a cold night, you play middle of the plate end. That's where you pitch them and you throw fastballs.
And you try to get on the hands, like you say. That's the best part of it, especially in a wood bat.
Hunter Boyd, the last time we saw him, pitched an 8-inning distance. And in those 2 starts that we'd seen, he'd sucked up 17 innings. And that's yeoman service. That's giving your bullpen a great big break.
He's been outstanding. And one of the best things about him, we've talked about this a lot, Al, is how fast he works on the mound. He keeps batters off balance, doesn't give them time to think. And he's got a good assortment of pitches. He has a 4-seam fastball, a 2-seam fastball, good breaking slider that works hard at the end of the run. And he's going to be throwing a little bit of a knuckleball today along with his 12-6 curve.
That I'm going to be interested in seeing. I wouldn't allow a guy who was not a 100% knuckleball pitcher, and where do you ever see those anymore? He's got to be ahead in the count to throw it.
He has to be, and he likes to throw it in the 0-1 count, and that might be the only time we see it. But he just uses it as a change, and according to Austin Guzzo, the pitching coach, he's been getting better and better with it as the season's gone on.
There you see Jordan Blondell, the Prospects field manager, trying to figure some things out, get back above a 500 record. They're just past the third-way point of the 56 games of the 2019 season in the Western Canada Baseball League. Really a light night of ball games in the big leagues. The Toronto Blue Jays played their annual Canada Day game at the ballpark in Toronto today. I'm sure they had a big house for it. And they fell to the Kansas City Royals 11-4. Chicago Cubs are in Pittsburgh tonight. The Baltimore Ball Club will play at Tampa Bay. The San Francisco Giants are in San Diego. The Los Angeles Angels and the Texas Rangers, and they were postponed today due to rain, which is kind of surprising, Arlington, Texas. But they got some rain today. They did not play the ball game. And the Milwaukee Brewers will play the Cincinnati Reds tonight. And of course, everybody will be in action 3 nights from now on July 4th. And that, of course, is the big U.S. celebration for the birthday of the United States. Here it's Canada Day, the 152nd birthday of the country of Canada. And despite this cool weather, you got to give the ball fans credit, John. This is northern Alberta, and a 50-degree weather night is not a big deal to the fans.
No, this is a good crowd, and they're having a lot of fun out here already. We haven't seen the first pitch yet.
If it was back in February, I don't know what I'd do, but I'd be overjoyed with a 50-degree day.
That's exactly right.
You can pencil that in at about 12, 13 degrees centigrade. So we're about ready to go with our Canada Day presentation. The Moose Jaw Miller Express and the Prospects as we take a time out for our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee ride, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Well, as you can see, the Prospects are wearing their Canada Day jerseys. I believe they auctioned those off after the game, but there they are, red, white, and blue. The Miller Express with their white trousers, black stirrups, a black and gold trim. That is the uniform colors of the Moose Jaw Ball Club, the Miller Express, who come into play at 11-11. They've had a lot of rainouts. That's why they have so few ball games played. And what that means, John, coming up in July, you got a lot of doubleheaders. A lot of doubleheaders.
And those are tough on a team, especially as their coach says they've got a little problem with their pitching. Even though those doubleheaders will be 7 innings a pop, that's tough to go.
That's barring extra innings.
That's right.
There you get a look at our starter tonight. Big, burly right-handed pitcher. Hunter Boyd out of Moses Lake, Washington, out on the Washington Plain, about halfway between Seattle and Spokane. I guarantee it's warmer in Moses Lake than it is here tonight.
That is a very hot place.
He tips the Toledos at 230 pounds out of the College of Idaho. And that wind is starting to gust and blow in towards the press box, which means you need a lot of weights for your papers that will go flying each way. But that's part of the deal. Hunter Boyd will make his 6th start of the season. He's got 1 complete game. He leads the team and probably the league at innings pitched. He's sucked up a lot of innings, 36, 34 hits, 9 runs, 7 earned runs. He's walked 9 batters. He struck out 25. He's got a microscopic ERA at 1.75. A walk hit innings pitched ratio, that's called a whip ratio, of 1.19. The batters in the Western Canada League have collectively hit 258. of this big right-hand pitcher from the state of Washington, Hunter Boyd. And Eric Merritt, the center fielder, will get things going. We're a little late getting underway tonight. At 7 minutes, or 7:11, 11 minutes past 7 o'clock Mountain Time. And the pitch is on the middle in half of the plate. It's in there for a strike at the knee, the kick and the pitch. The ball's popped up to the short outfield. And drifting on in, and he's under this. Tanner Roundy makes a basket grab. You've got one away.
Now, was that the knuckleball? The 0-1 pitch.
No, it's too fast for a knuckleball.
It came in pretty hard. That was a fastball.
Zach Campbell is the batter. In the middle part of the order is what's dangerous for this Moose Jaw Ball Club. You've got a 373, a 314, a 342, and a 273 batsman from 3 through 7 in the order. Hunter Boyd ready to go, and he runs the pitch over the outside corner. It's a call strike. Here to Zach Campbell, a 162 batter.
It's one thing we've seen from Hunter Boyd this year. He has very good control on the corners.
Pitch is a breaking ball, and it's bounced foul. It's not a play. 2 strikes up in the count. This guy does all the things I like about a pitcher at any level of the game that I've seen. As you look at those nice mechanics by this young right-hand pitcher. The bottom fell right out of that pitch. It's fouled away. But he works quick, and he's aggressive in the strikes, in the strike zone. You'll find him more often at an 0-2 count, just like he is right here, than a 2-0 count. Hunter works right off the first base side of the pitching slab. And here's the pitch. It's a comebacker. Fielded by Boyd. Underhand to the bag. 1-3 on the putout and 2 away.
Now on this pitch, here's one thing, and we haven't talked about it a lot with Hunter Boyd, but he's always in good position to field the ball. That came to the first base side, and he was over a little bit, but we've seen it come back on the third base side, and he's pretty square. He's a very good fielding pitcher.
That is a little more difficult play than what it looks. That was not even a second to get back to him. That's why they call that piece of real estate the gun barrel, the 60 feet 6 inches from the front edge of the pitcher's plate to the back point of home plate. He is a good fielding pitcher. Count of 1 ball and no strikes. The infield tonight of Pratt at third, Walker at first, Ramirez the shortstop, Luther at second base. They're all playing back at fanned apart. The picket line tonight, McDonald, Roundy, and Hunt, left through right. Count of 2 balls and no strikes. The pitch, and the ground ball wide of third. Pratt's got it, and he airmails it across the diamond. That'll do it. A pop fly and 2 ground ball outs. Here for Hunter Boyd, the first inning. 0's over. 1/2 done. No score in the ball game. On Canada Day, this is Edmonton Prospects Baseball on ICU Video. Back here at the ballpark, bottom half of the first inning. And pitching tonight for the Moose Jaw Miller Express, Blake Gallagher, 5'10", 175-pounder. Just going to have a look at his pitching motion. Normally the shorter guys will throw just like that. That's called a drop and drive delivery. Not a lot to go wrong with it, John. Very seldom do you see a sore arm off a drop and drive delivery.
No, and it's you notice he's very fluid with his arm action with the drive.
Quite often a drop and driver won't even throw from a windup. They'll just come set, and that's how they work. Now he's out of Fredericton, New Brunswick. And next Sunday, we'll have one of the native sons from Fredericton, New Brunswick in town for the All-Star game. Matt Stairs, who started his big league career in Canada and finished it in Canada. He was originally got to the big leagues with the Expos. He finished out with the Blue Jays, had some real nice years in the big leagues. Played here as a AAA ball player. And that's going to be a lot of fun next Sunday, the All-Star game.
It sure will. And there's a man that could pound a baseball. He had a lot of power.
He had short legs. He was built more like a catcher. But Matty was outstanding at judging where to stand in right field. They didn't DH him. They played him in the outfield, and Matty knew how to get to a ball. It didn't run real fast, but just had great baseball sense. So that's going to be next Sunday. Blake Gallagher, 5'10", 175-pounder. He's a sophomore from Fredericton, New Brunswick. And he drops the first pitch into the strike zone. And we're at 0-1, just underway in the bottom half of the first inning. This will be the 6th appearance on the year for Gallagher. He kicks and delivers. Pulled a string on a changeup, swing and a miss. His 5th start, he's got 20 innings, 15 hits, 8 runs, all earned, 6 base on balls, 21 strikeouts, and a 3.60 earned run average. And the Western Canada League not hitting much more than a loud foul off him. They're batting .214. He's going to waste a sinker ball down and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. When I was a kid growing up, the Canadiens were my favorite hockey team, and another Fredericton native son was one of my favorite players, Danny Grant. And did he have a wicked wrist shot?
You know, isn't it amazing, Al, how many baseball players have played a lot of good hockey? And
well, Matt Stairs did.
He did.
He's a high school hockey coach in Maine. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. Nice movement on that breaking ball. Just threw him a real soft pitch. I'm not sure what it was. That was a sinker ball. You can't throw a curveball from that arm angle. That's a sinker. 1 away. And we might have ourselves a real pitching duel tonight, and those are my favorite games.
Oh, they're fun and they're fast. You know, it puts a challenge on the hitters.
Strike on a running fastball, 0-1 to Edgar Harrell. 250 batter. Will be the designated hitter tonight. Front foot slightly open, midway in the batter's box. And the pitch. And threw the breaking ball for a strike, 0-2.
That was an excellent breaking ball, just caught the inside corner.
Also due up here in the home half of the first inning, it'll be the right fielder Travis Hunt. When I think of what all he's done defensively and at the plate, I would think he'll be penciled in somewhere next Sunday in the All-Star game.
I would think he'd have to be, Al.
First of 3 games with the Moose Jaw Ball Club, 7:05 contests all tomorrow night, and then on Wednesday night. And we sit at a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Came back with a fastball on the hands, waved at and fouled to the backstop. I would think we're in the 5,000 range, maybe a little better here tonight. Had we played this game yesterday, it would have been in ideal conditions, but that was and this is. Drops his arm angle down and he throws a flat slider that runs away to the batter. That's an old trick, especially with lefties. 2-strike count, drop your arm angle off, you get a flat breaking pitch, a flat slider. It'll start in the strike zone and it'll end up anywhere but the strike zone. That ball's hit on the hands and it's a room service fly ball up the middle. And Eric Merritt is there to one-hand it on in, 2 away. I remember on our AAA days, big league clubs would send a left-hand pitcher down for a couple of relief assignments to do just that, get comfortable with dropping your arm angle down on an 0-2 count.
It's interesting.
That's a fine hair. It really is.
It sure is.
That's baseball.
It sure is. Now, something that's happening here, Al, is what we talked about earlier, and it's what Hunter Boyd did in his last batter we've seen here, is pitching on the hands. And this one's outside, but if you notice, the out pitches have been inside, tight on the hands.
Hunt hitting .377. 2 away here in the bottom half of the first inning. A drawn back infield, the outfield is straight away. That one almost looked like a knuckleball. It barely spun at all, but the pitch is outside. And we're at 1 ball and 1 strike. Prospects were in Weyburn, took 2 out of 3. And here's the pitch. Down and away. Normally you have to score more runs than you let in to win games, but in that series, just the way it worked out. Prospects scored 13 runs in the 3-game series with Weyburn, and they allowed 22. But 22 of those runs, 12 of them came in 1 game, so they allowed way more runs than they scored, but they still won 2 out of 3.
Statistics, what do they say? Statistics are for losers? You never know. Oh,
nice breaking ball. He really pulled the string nicely on that hook, if we get a look at that on replay. And that's a sinker ball. A swing and a miss. And we got a pitching duel here tonight. 2 strikeouts in the inning for this young right-hand pitcher, Blake Gallagher, out of Fredericton, New Brunswick. 0's over. Scoreless ball game as we head to the 2nd inning on Canada Day. This is Prospects Baseball on ICU Video. Darryl Dahl, the leadoff batter here in the 2nd inning. Hunter Boyd kicks and deals. And a breaking pitch is waved at. Dahl is hitting .314 on the season. 11 victories, 11 losses for Moose Jaw. And they seem to just have a magnet for bad weather that followed them up here to Edmonton. So they have got a slew of double dips that they're going to have to deal with in the month of July. Hunter Boyd in the first inning got 2 ground ball outs and a pop fly. And he's going to waste a pitch down and away, 1 ball and 2 strikes. After the ball game, we'll have a musical interlude, a concert, with the band up on stage, somewhere between home plate and the mound, and the big fireworks show to follow, put on by the city of Edmonton. Here's the 1-2 pitch. He ran that one away like a screwball. That was a breaking ball that ran away from the batter. And he wouldn't hit that one with a base fiddle, 1 away.
Oh, that was an excellent pitch.
And Jordy Mcdougal, the third baseman, will be the batter. A .342 batter. Big knee bend. Back foot right about the back line of the batter's box. And the pitch is inside for ball 1. Calling the balls and strikes tonight, Darren DeKinder. Don Buskus at first, Brandon Strachey at second. Devin Redekop will be at third. There's a line drive. Ramirez towards the hole, tries to flag it, can't get to it. There you have your first base hit of the ball game, and that was a good one. Hit that one right on the button and lines a base hit to left field.
Looked like a fastball, jumped right on it, got out over the middle of the plate.
And the batter is the catcher, Cole Workin. .273 hitter. And for the first time tonight, Hunter Boyd will abandon the windup and work for the set position. Threw a real good pickoff throw to first base. He's got an excellent move. And his throw is accurate. That's right where you want it, right low on and where the runner is coming back to the bag.
And he's been consistent with that all year.
I mean, look at that short lead that guy's taken as the ball is fisted foul up the right side and into the seats. Here on Cole Workin. Regina ball player, 5'11", 200 pounds. A senior at a place called Erskine College. Here Ramirez and Luther going to shorten up a little bit on the mid infield. Davis Pratt's about midway at third. The outfield is straight away. Hunter Boyd ready to go, and the fastball is up and in. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tucker Dzinich is in the on-deck circle. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I have a feeling I probably didn't. We go to 1 and 2. Just missed that pitch. Just fouled it straight back.
He did. And Hunter Boyd seemed to have a little bit of hop on that ball. Moving pretty good.
Prospects wound up their 3-game series in Weyburn with a victory. They hung on to win it 6-5 on Saturday night. Base hit to left field. Ball was up and out over the plate. And the Miller Express with bases occupied, men at first and second. And Tucker Dzinich is the batter. So they played the Saturday night game, loaded the bus with a couple of barrels of Colonel Saunders' finest, and made their way back to Edmonton, probably an 8-hour trip. Do you know what? All the things I miss from professional baseball, I miss the bus. I could care less about the planes, but I like the bus.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. And it is interesting that teams really come together on a bus. There's no question about that. But that is a long trip from Weyburn now.
And at first and second base, here's the pitch, ground ball, right side. No play for Luther as he dove towards his left. And that'll load the bases. 2 singles to left and 1 to right. And Miller Express, the base is full, and Devin Farrell, the shortstop. He's a 194 hitter. He'll be the batter. You'd love a ground ball double play right here, but probably settle for a strikeout.
You definitely will settle for a strikeout, but if the ball is on the ground, they go for the double play. And, you know, you look at those 2 of these hits that we've seen have been almost, they just snuck through. Infielders just missed them.
And here comes the pitch. It's low and away. 1 ball, no strike. When you do have a runner at first base, ideally you like to ground ball to the left side, because with your first baseman holding the runner on, you've got a huge hole to the right side of the infield that you don't have on the left side. And Hunter Boyd delivers. Swing and a miss. Ran that one right up in the wheelhouse.
But this is another reason, Al, what you're saying is very accurate, that while they'll pitch them inside, and they'll try to get in on the hands on these, move it up and down.
Boyd is ready. He rocks on the rubber and the pitch. A little sinker ball in there for a strike. Go to 1 and 2. If you want a ground ball, that's what you throw, a sinker. And the pitch outside, go to 2 balls and 2 strikes. We were talking before the broadcast about playing in Albuquerque. I was there many a time. And that ball just absolutely carried unbelievably there. You couldn't throw curveballs. There was no moisture in the air. And you couldn't really throw sinker balls either, because those desert infields, you pound that ball into that hard shale in a desert infield, you're going to get a high hopper and you'll just beat it out for a single.
That can very easily happen. I know we played in Albuquerque in '63 and '64, and in that era, you'd also lose the ball in that high sky. Ball would look like an aspirin on a high fly ball.
It's a big out here in this inning with the bases loaded. Hunter Boyd delivers. Runs the pitch high and outside. 1 ball, no strike to Alex Drzenik. And he is hitting under the Mendoza line. He's batting 133. So you got to throw strikes to this guy. There he cues the ball off the head of the bat, foul of the bag at third base. We're at a ball on the strike.
There's a case where he came in with a change of speed, and the batter got out in front of it a little bit and got it off right at the head of the bat.
Runners aboard. Jordy Mcdougal at third. Cole Workin at second. Tucker Dzinich is the runner off at first base. Infield is pretty much fully back. They try to pull an outside pitch. Rolls it foul up the first base side. In front of the biggest crowd of the season, we've got to be in the neighborhood, I would think, of 5,000 people. Would have been a whole lot more if the weather had been better. But you take the good with the bad.
You do, and I'm very impressed with this crowd, with the weather, what it's been today, to come out to this game.
That'll do it. Hunter Boyd throws that sinker ball. It ran down and away from the batter. Yeah, it's almost like a screwball.
It is. 3 strikeouts for Hunter Boyd in that inning.
Here in the second, no runs on 3 hits, no errors, 3 men left on base. 1.5 innings in the books at a scoreless ball game on Canada Day. It's Prospects Baseball on ICU Video. There you see that nice crowd on hand here tonight at Remax Field. The luxury boxes, a good bit of those are occupied. That's a great way to watch a game if you so desire, to bring your family or a work group. Maybe have an afternoon game of golf and bring your workers out to the park, rent a suite, have it fully catered, and you'll see what the ball players see you right on terra firma, right on ground level.
Unbelievable place to watch a baseball game from, Al. It's like being in the dugout.
Nolan Walker, Jake Geary, and Javier Ramirez, the middle 3 of the order. 2 up here against Blake Gallagher. In the first inning, struck out 2 batters and got a lazy pop fly. A 3 up, 3 down inning. 5'10" right-hand pitcher out of Fredericton, New Brunswick. And the pitch to Walker. He cues the ball to the left side of the infield. The shortstop Farrell gets the tailgate down nicely, straightens out and throws, and Nolan Walker just flat out beat it out. That's an infield hit.
I did not know that Nolan Walker had this kind of speed. He was hustling. Now the shortstop, you saw him hitch on that, took a double hitch, and that allowed Nolan Walker to get in and get the base hit.
A scratch single by Nolan Walker. What made that even more impressive for Walker's running ability, that wasn't a bleeder or a slow roller. That was hit in good order right to the shortstop.
It was a hard hit ball, and that shortstop, he's got to get rid of one of those hitches if he's going to get that ball over.
Jake Geary is the batter up. Big strapping right-handed batsman. From the stretch, the pitch, a strike on the outside corner, 0-1 to Geary. 304 batter. Here's the pitch from Gallagher. Turned that ball over and he missed low with it. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Looked like Jake Gary's eyes were frozen right on that ball. He just followed it right down all the way through.
7:05 ball game tomorrow night, 7:05 on Wednesday night. Here against the Moose Jaw Club, who started their road trip in Medicine Hat. And they'll conclude it up the road in Fort McMurray. Bouncing ball to the left side. Fielded here by the shortstop Farrell. He bobbled it a bit on to Campbell at second base. The relay down the line is not in time. They don't turn 2. No error on the play. You can't assume a double play. So that'll be a fielder's choice for Jake Geary. And Javier Ramirez, the batter, bringing a .260 batting average into the ball game today. Wearing a black stirrup with the white sanitary hose underneath, white trousers, and the Canada Day top, red and white. And the pitch is a strike, 0-1.
That fastball right in on the hands. And trying to get him to pull the ball to the left side of the field.
And a throw back on to first. The boys down in the prospects were telling me that a guy played here at AAA, Louis Pote, played here with the Independent Pro Club, got a World Series ring with the Angels. And Louis is employed by the Baseball Academy down in Okotoks, and what a wonderful job they do over there of teaching kids how to play baseball. Hard ground ball, left side of the diamond, off McDougal's leg. Throw on to first base is not in time. A little 3-cushion billiards, and that'll be a base hit.
This is a real hard hit ball.
Right off the shin.
Right off the shin. You know that had to hurt.
Jake McDonald is the batter. Anyway, Lou's oldest kid, and I remember when he was knee-high to a pop bottle. He's now 15 years of age. He's 6'6". He throws the ball better than 90, and the scouts are already looking at him.
Oh, that's something else, isn't it?
Throwing a ball at 90 for a 15-year-old. And there's nothing wrong with that. What you don't want a 15-year-old doing is throwing breaking balls. That's hard in the arm.
That's right.
The fastball, you can't teach that.
The fastball and the change is all they need at that age.
So I'm looking forward to in a year or two in June, reading that Lou's son has offered a big league contract or an entry-level contract. Here's the pitch, and it's a strike, 0-2. 1 gone, first and second base here in the bottom of 2. That Lou throw a no-hitter here for the Edmonton Capitals back a number of years ago. Did not allow a hit. He had runners on base every inning. He was getting near the end. And the pitch is a strike, and it's right on the outside black. Nice breaking ball, 2 away. He called it his no hitter.
Now batting third base, number 14, Davis Pratt.
Pretty good pitch.
Davis Pratt batting .213. Big left-handed batsman up there with the front foot slightly open. There he closes it off, swings at the pitch, and off the handle of the bat, loops it foul and into the seats. Strike 1.
Now Davis Pratt does have some power. He start of the season he had some pretty good games from Cloud Community College in Kansas. Had a good freshman season down there.
Last ball outside. We go to 1 ball and 1 strike. 5'10", 175-pound right-hander, a sophomore from Fredericton, New Brunswick, Blake Gallagher. Ready to go, and here's the 1-1 delivery. Threw him a backdoor breaking ball, and that is right in there at the knee. Pitch that starts off the outside corner of the plate and breaks back in. It's from a right-hand pitcher to a left-handed batter, or a left-handed pitcher to a left-handed batter. right-handed batter. And here's the 1-2 delivery. Ball is hit up the middle, and that should do it here in the inning. There's Eric Merritt drifting back and making the catch. The ball is hit right into the eye of that wind here tonight, and it wasn't going anywhere.
No, he got under it, and another can of corn to the center fielder.
0-2-0-2, the line totals through 2. It's a scoreless ball game, and Andrew Peard, take it away.
Thank you very much, Al. Something that it seems every time we're here at Remax Field we're talking about is the weather. Good news is it looks like everything's pushing southeast. As I take a look over the northwest side of the stadium, you can actually see some blue sky starting to filter in. But going back to the weather with all the precipitation we've had here, talking with some of the prospects outfielders, they say they're quite comfortable out in the field, knowing it's a little bit slick. They've got a bit of a better read on the field conditions here at Remax Field. And something else maybe to keep an eye on was we saw the Moose Jaw infielders having a little bit of trouble perhaps with the artificial infield here at Remax Field. Of course, this is the first visit for Moose Jaw into Edmonton this year. And as far as weather goes, you're going to get no sympathy from the guys from the Moose Jaw Miller Express. They've had 4 games already rained out this year, postponed, making for a much busier final 5 weeks of their regular season. Al, John, back up to you guys.
All right, thank you, Andrew. Now, don't forget, come into Jiffy Lube today for a Pennzoil. Fully synthetic oil change, no appointment necessary, warranty approved, earn air miles, and a $100 travel credit. Details at jiffylubeservice.ca. Hunter Boyd got himself out of the kettle real nice in the second inning. He had the bases loaded with 1 out. He struck out Devon Farrell, and he turned around and he struck out Alec Derzinik. A couple of ball players struggling a little bit at the bottom end of the order, and that's what you got to do. You got to get those guys out.
You sure do, and he did a very good job of it. Now, it's interesting to note in this that the 3 outs were all strikeouts, and he allowed 3 singles. Only one of them was a really hard hit ball, and it's I felt a really well pitched inning. And in Moose Jaw, though, they scratched those singles out. They just couldn't put it together to get an RBI.
Here in the third, Eric Merritt is the leadoff batter. Wide out, center field his first time through. Hunter Boyd with that straight overhand delivery, and he drops a strike into the rectangle, 0-1.
It's another thing about Hunter Boyd is his delivery is the same on his pitches. Right up over the top, there's the breaking ball. Called swing and strike.
Pull the string on that slow curve, bring it around to 0-2. Well, we certainly hope Andrew was right about better weather coming our way with the ball game tomorrow night. There's a ground ball on the ground to the right side of the infield, and Walker's toss here to Boyd covering was not on the mark. Get a look in the replay. See if he had a chance on that runner if it was a strike thrown. Well, you would have, so that's got to be an error. That's a 2-base error. If it's a close play, you could maybe go a single on an error, but that's a 2-base error.
No, Nolan Walker did not set his feet. He rushed the ball, and that's what ends up happening. Now they just got to come through and get the next man out. But this is baseball, Al. You never know what could happen.
Pratt thinks there might be a bunt coming his way, so he's way inside the bag at third base. And very likely could be with nobody out. 0-1 to Zach Campbell. If you field the roll a bunt to the left side, you make the third baseman abandon the base, you open it up, and your man's at third. And the strike one pitch, there he did square off and show the bunt. It was not a buntable pitch, and we set out a ball on a strike.
Now that was not a pitch out. That was just a ball that was outside, but it's not bad to be outside on that play with a left-handed hitter. If the runner is going, you've got a fairly easy throw to get him out.
Fastball misses upstairs. 2 balls, 1 strike. We're in a scoreless ball game on Canada Day. Top of the third inning. Got to the ballpark today at 3:30. I knew the forecast, but it did not look promising. It was moist, lots of rain. There's a big sea of water in behind home plate. But they got the bilge pumps out and did an absolutely outstanding job to get this field ready to go.
Where you really see it, Al, is in the outfield. And with all this rain we've had, if you notice it pretty well, all those dry spots are cleared up. And it also drains very well in this field.
Tell you what, I live out in the country, and you can just about hear the crops growing. That first cut of hay can't be very far away. Canola's gone beyond the 4-leaf stage. And another month, the crops will start heading out. That's what you need, heat and water, and we've got both.
On that pickoff attempt, if Hunter had got the ball down a little bit, they would have had the runner picked off.
Ground ball shot up the middle. Ramirez there to make the catch. On to first base. Gets the job done just like a bunt. Merritt moves to third. Zach Campbell moves his runner over. And Michael Borst, the right fielder, will be the batter. See where they play the infield. It's early in the ball game. I'd be very surprised if they played the infield up. They're not going to. The ball is hit up to the middle. Either middle infielder, a run will score. If it's hit on the corners, it might not. And the pitch is there for a strike, 0-1. If the run scores, it would be an unearned run. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Ran that one up in the wheelhouse, but he pulled a string on it. And we set it an 0-2 count. Boyd is ready. The pitch. Hard ground ball right side. No play for Walker diving. And that'll be a run scoring single. And the Miller Express are on the board.
Got that ball out over the plate. The hitter stayed on the ball, hit it where it was pitched to the opposite field. Gets himself an RBI.
And Darryl Dahl is the batter. Struck out swinging his first time through. That was the second inning where Hunter Boyd struck out the first batter. Then he surrendered 3 straight hits. Although 2 of them pingers, 1 of them hit good. Then he struck out the next 2 batters. Here's the pickoff throw by Boyd. What he does do with those pickoff throws, and he doesn't throw them all the time. He only throws them on runners that he's worried about. But you'll see at the end of the year how many ground ball double plays he'll get because of that.
Exactly right. He holds these people pretty tight. And I don't know if I've seen a pitcher here that is as consistent on this pickoff move of keeping the ball low, where there's a chance to get the runner.
Dahl batting .314 for the Moose Jaw Club. Remember back in the 70s they were called the Moose Jaw Devons. But have changed their name to the Miller Express. Well, Hunter Boyd is going to throw the ball up wide of the target. That'll be the second error of the inning. And that'll produce a man on to third base. Here's the throw on a bounce, the tag, and it's in time. And that's a big out for the Prospects after an error put the runner in flight, but a perfect one-hop strike to third base. See if we can get a look at that on the replay. There you see the bad throw. Runner gets on his horse, finds a new gear going between second and third base. Nolan Walker has to run a long way to get to that ball. And normally first basemen aren't known for their arms. There he aired one out pretty good on one bounce right on the target.
Oh, that was a tremendous throw by Nolan Walker.
3-5 on the put out of your scoring. And back into the full windup for Hunter Boyd. See what happens when you throw strikes and you work quick. Every once in a while the baseball gods will look after you.
Here comes that pickoff again. Now look at this. It's not a bad throw. And Walker gets there. Now, this is a long throw.
For a first baseman.
One little hitch, yeah. And right on the money. Couldn't be better. Wonderful baseball play.
Of all the tools that a first baseman has to have, your arm isn't really one of them.
That's the last one they have, isn't it, Al?
Yeah. How often do you have to make a throw? And the pitch on the outside corner, but low.
Well, another thing, knowing Nolan Walker, and you know him a little bit like I do, he's a very conscientious young man. I think he thinks he cost Hunter Boyd that he should have had that ball in the pickoff attempt.
All right, here's the 2-2 delivery. That's low. If you ever read the movie Moneyball or go see the movie, and I finally did see it, this is a good movie. Didn't maybe want to see because I knew Billy Beane quite well, and that actor did a nice job. But they had such a low payroll. They had less payroll than probably what the Yankees spent on their bullpen that particular year. And I'll get to that story when we move to the bottom half of the third inning because it's a good one. And there he finishes out nicely. That's his 4th strikeout of the night for Boyd. 1 unearned run crosses the plate, down on 1 hit. There were 2 errors and nobody left on base. 1-0, Moose Jaw leads Canada today at the ballpark, and you're viewing the telecast on ICU video. There you see Blake Gallagher, a young right-handed pitcher who got 2 strikeouts in the first inning. Got 3 of them in total. And he has faced 2 batters more than the minimum through the first 2 innings. He'll go to work on Tanner Roundy, the 9-hole hitter for the Prospects. Here in the last half of the third inning, 1-0, Moose Jaw leads. Strike in the outside corner. Getting back to what I was talking about in the movie and the book Moneyball, the Oakland A's had won the American League West title the previous year, and then were losing players to free agency. They lost a guy who played here, Jason Giambi, who could park that ball. He needed a closed basket to catch it, but he could nail it. He went to the Yankees. They lost Johnny Damon, center fielder, to free agency. I think he went to the Yankees too. And they lost their best pitcher, Jason Isringhausen, and they had a budget of $25 million to put a team together. So what they started looking for was players that, what I was considered a very important stat. It's called OBP, on-base percentage. And they scoured the minor leagues, saw guys that got on base a lot. They found a burned-out catcher, and his arm was gone. It was shot. Named Scott Hatterberg. And Beane went to visit him and said, "I'd love to play for you, Billy, but my arm's gone. It looks like a crab meat cocktail. I can't play anymore." He said, "No, what we'll do is we'll put you at first base where you don't have to throw, or almost never." And that's what they did. They took Hatterberg because he could get on base, but he couldn't throw anymore. And he pieced that club together with no money, and he actually got into the playoffs that year.
You know, one of the amazing things about that is that if you go before Billy Beane and go to the old owner, Charlie O. Finley, now there's a guy who starved his own team with all that great talent he had, whether it was Reggie Jackson, Rick Monday, Sal Bando. You look at the pitchers they had.
Well, Kenny Holtzman, they had Catfish Hunter, Marcel Latchman, Joel Horland,
Vida Blue,
Raleigh Fingers. Oh, they had pitching all right.
Just tremendous. But he didn't pay any of
They had no money.
So they ended up losing them all.
Yeah, they did.
You know, and so and Charlie had money. I mean, he was a very wealthy man, but he just wouldn't spend it. Billy Beane had no money.
No, he had none.
That's interesting.
They got a pitcher that had played for the Calgary AAA club, Chad Bradford. Used to just about scrape his knuckles on the rubber. He threw so low he was a submariner. But he could eat up innings, so that's why he signed him. And he got Ricardo Rincon, wasn't a bad player. And he got to the playoffs. They won 20-some games consecutively. And there's a breaking pitch to get the man. That's strikeout number 4 here for Blake Gallagher.
The one thing Tanner Roundy did there, he's a 9-hole hitter and not having a great year at the bat, but he made that pitcher throw 7 pitches to him, and those add up.
Brandon Luther is the batter. Billy Beane was drafted in the first round of the 1982 draft in the NBA, the NFL, and he was the #1 pick in Major League Baseball. He was drafted ahead of Darnell Coles as an outfielder with the New York Mets. He quite often said I was a great athlete, but I wasn't a very good baseball player. It just was not my game. Pretty good GM. There's a ball hit off the head of the bat into left field and into that wind drifting back. Tucker Dzernich, and he turned around like a grain auger, but he made the catch. The wind taking that ball and playing tricks on the outfielder. There he is. Got it on radar, 2 gone. You know, Johnny Damon was a 4-tool player. He could hit for average, he could hit for power, he could run and he could field, but he just could not throw. And the ball was hit up the middle on him. If he didn't catch it on the fly, he turned a single into a double just about every time out. Not his fault. Maybe he had a hurt arm. I don't know. He could do a lot of things, but he couldn't throw.
Well, the thing about that is that it hurts a little bit because you don't get the assists. And outfielders that have good live arms, they can really help on specific plays.
Edgar Harrell is the batter up, and here's the pitch to Edgar. Sinker ball strike. Go to 2-1. A lot of times you'll take a pitcher, if he's got a fastball, he'll also throw a curveball. If you throw a sinker, you'll quite often throw a slider, and that's what this guy does. He throws sinkers and sliders. 3-1 on Harrell. 1-0 ball game. Moose Jaw leads. We're in the bottom of the third inning. And the coolest July 1st I could ever remember. And that pitch is high, and ball 4.
Now batting right field, number 49,
Travis Hunt will be the batter.
You know how you bring up a good point about pitchers that throw the sinker ball and the slider. Both those pitches usually end up very low, and it causes for a lot of ground balls.
Well, if you're a right-handed pitcher working to a right-handed batter, your sinker ball is in and your slider is away, and they're both low. You're right. You keep them down. And there's a fastball for a strike on Travis Hunt. First of 3 with Moose Jaw. They'll finish off their road trip, moving up to Fort McMurray. And the pitch is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. 4 strikeouts on the afternoon for Blake Gallagher, and has surrendered 2 infield hits. Don't forget, next Sunday it's the Western Canada Baseball League All-Star Game. They're going to have a 4:05 first pitch. I assume we'll be telecasting that game. Home Run Derby at 2 o'clock. It's the first year of the Western Canada League All-Star Game, which is coincidental because it's also the first year of the Western Canada Baseball League. Changed their name in the offseason from the Western Major Baseball League. I think it has a nicer ring.
I do too. Okay, Travis Hunt. They're trying to get him on the hands, and I got that one over the plate a little bit. Travis will be a little upset that he didn't get full bat contact. Now, we haven't seen a lot of Edgar Harrell, Al, but this baseball team has shown they love to run. And we know that Hunt can run. If Harrell can run and he gets a base hit, we could end up seeing something interesting. Because depending on where the hit goes, if it's right field, you could get all the way around if Harrell's got speed.
One ball and 2 strikes is the count. Gallagher is ready to go. He strides home. The pitch, threw him the slider. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 5 for Gallagher. Look at that thing. It drops right off the table.
It does. It was a wonderful pitch. I can't remember when Travis Hunt has struck out twice in a game.
Check us out in left field. I've got John here.
We'll move on to the 4th and a 1-0 Moose Jaw lead on Canada Day. Prospects Baseball on ICU Video. Jordy Mcdougal leads it off here in the 4th inning. Boyd rocks into the windup and a bouncing ball past third. Pratt dove to his left, couldn't get to it. Ball hit in pretty good order, and that's a leadoff single. First pitch offered up. Jordy Mcdougal is a collective 2 for 2 on the night's proceedings. And Cole Workin, the catcher, the batter due up.
Good solid. It's a good solid hit.
The way the week goes for the Prospects, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday here against the Miller Express. Thursday and Friday, the Prospects will be in Medicine Hat. They'll be home next Saturday to the Okotoks Dogs. And then the Western Canada League All-Star Game next Sunday. Now it'll be a 4:05 first pitch. Home run derby will go at 2 o'clock. But at the same time that just about everybody else is going to have their major league, minor league, all-star games. Well, when I first started, that was unheard of. There was no such thing other than the big leagues. And even in the big leagues, it was actually only 2 days. And the pitch is a strike. This year they're taking 4 days off for the all-star break. I can tell you what, in the major leagues, if you're an everyday player, you look just as forward to the 4 days off as you would going to the game.
Absolutely. Sometimes more so.
And the pitch outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Baseball can be really hard on families with all the traveling, playing every day, even at home you're away. What a lot of people don't realize, Al, it's over an 8-hour day for players by the time they get to the ballpark through the end of the game.
The ball nubbed off the head of the bat, fielded here by the first baseman Walker, and the throw on to first with Hunter Boyd hustling over to make the catch. That's a 3-1 put-out, but it's not an easy put-out. That's not tailor-made to get an out. But there you see a pretty nice play. Hunter Boyd showing his athleticism, diving in the air. Gets to the bag before Cole Workin does, and one's gone in the inning.
Very good play in there by the prospects from the point of view that it was a tougher play than the one they had the error on in the last inning. And I thought that Boyd did a great job getting over. Real nice play by Nolan Walker.
Tucker to Zidic. Stroked a base hit up the middle. There's an error on the throw. Hunter Boyd threw that one away, and he knew it. Way off target, and the error, the second throwing error on the day by Boyd, will put the man to third base. That was, to say the least, off target. Look at that.
Well, there's 2 things wrong with this. Number one, the shortstop was not getting over hard to it, and Boyd just turning through. There was a miscommunication there somehow. And even if Boyd had put that right over the base, I'm not sure that that Ramirez would have got it. I don't think it would have been there in time. These are things that can really affect a team. You start getting communication errors on pickoffs.
Now they're going to play the infield up with 1 away. That's what you should do. The ball is popped up, foul territory, up on the third base side. Jake Geary slid into the padding underneath the backstop.
They got we got a replay on this. Watch the replay. He hits this padding pretty good, but he's an old high school linebacker. This won't hurt him. He's a tough kid. He was a boom. I think the pad won on that one out.
Yeah. Off first base side of the pitching rubber, the big right-hander delivers, and the pitch is outside, a ball on the strike. Also, when Hunter Boyd stepped off and he had his right arm cocked, you don't have to complete your throw to second or third. That's not a balk.
He could have held on to it, that's right.
There's a nice overhand curveball, a swing and a miss, bring it around to 1-2. You're going to work out of a full windup with a runner at third base. Ball's popped up into short center field. And that ball going to get caught by Tanner Roundy right at the shoelaces. That is a beautiful catch. It just had to run a straight line to the ball, but he leans down and makes a beautiful catch.
What we don't see here is the jump he got on the ball off the bat. But now we both know that Tanner, he's leading the team in stolen bases. He got excellent speed. But that's a combination of speed, understanding and reading the ball off the bat, and great hand-eye coordination.
And a good jump.
Absolutely, wonderful jump. And it saves a run.
Devin Farrell, the shortstop, will be the batter. Roundy into his windup with the pitch. Nub foul up the third side, strike 1. We get a chance to see that catch again because he leans down and he had his ball go right on terra firma.
He did. He's a tall kid, too. He's about 6'3", 6'4", a rangy young man, and I think he's got fairly long arms, which is good because he needed them in that play. And now, you know, running in like that at speed and reaching down, you can lose your balance very easily on that.
And it's rained all day, so you're playing on an off track.
Yeah.
Wind up, and here comes the pitch. And he's going to hit the batter. Devon Farrell draws 90 feet. I don't even hit his skin or his bone. I think it just brushed his uniform.
I agree with you. I think that just touched the jersey. We'll see it here. Yeah, it had to. Boy, it just caught it, too.
But you got first base open, the 9-hole batter coming up, so.
That's not bad.
Might not hurt you.
No, just get the batter. You got 2 out. Here comes that replay on that hit, so let's have a look at it. You don't see the jump off the bat, but he was moving. You can see there he's moving, and watch this.
Nice catch.
Real nice baseball play by Tanner Roundy.
Runners at first and third with 2 away. Fully back on the middle infield. Midway on the corners. The ball is popped up foul and out of play. Dzienek struck out with the bases loaded in the second inning. And the pitch. Snare that one right out of the catcher's mitt. Flares it foul down the left side. Dzienek out of High River. Attends Colby Community College. Boyd ready. Here comes the pitch with a runner going, and the ball is swung on. Not held cleanly by Jake Geary, but he puts the tag down. And the strikeout gets it done. A strikeout in the second, third, and the fourth inning for Hunter Boyd. And he dodges a bit of a bullet.
He does. But what saved that was the catch by Tanner Roundy on that pop fly in his shallow center field. Outstanding jump, great hustle, excellent hand-eye coordination.
Line totals: no runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 2 men stranded. 1-0 Moose Jaws. We move to the home half of the fourth inning on Canada Day. Prospects baseball on ICU video. 2 young right-hand pitchers dueling it out here this afternoon. One of them a little bit taller than the other one, a 6'1" right-hander who throws him a straight overhand delivery, that being Hunter Boyd. And this pitcher you see on your screen right now, Blake Gallagher, out of the drop and drive delivery. Here's a ball that's scooted past the mound and up the middle for a leadoff single. That ball gets cut off at the mound. Obviously, it's not a base hit on the slider, but it just got under his leather.
Now batting, the catcher, number 22, Jake Geary.
And Jake Geary will be the batter up.
Now we know Jake's got good power. He can pull the ball over the fence. He can hit an opposite field over the fence.
Buckley, Washington, the hometown of Jake Geary. Double play depth in the infield. Hard ground ball to third. McDougal knocks it down, picks it up, does a full spin, throws the ball on the bounce, and you got men at first and second base. That ball was hard hitting right to the third baseman.
It wasn't handcuffed him by the looks of it, Al, and had trouble with it. And he hits the turf on the throw.
So Jake Geary is aboard. That's the 4th hit on the day for the Prospects. An infield single. So the tying run is in scoring position. Here's a bunt, and it's a drag bunt, and it's a beauty, and that's going to load the bases. A beautiful drag bunt here by Javier Ramirez. Can't do that any better in the big leagues.
You can't. This is as fine a placed bunt as you will find.
I'm not sure I would have even thrown it.
I don't think I would have. Ramirez has excellent speed, and he showed it there. What a beautiful bunt.
there for the batter. If you get the job done and get the bunt down, it's a no-lose situation for the batter because you're either going to get an infield hit or a no time at bat. It would be a sacrifice. So really you can't lose on that one.
Exactly.
If you put the bunt down properly.
If you put it down properly, that's right.
Jake McDonald is the batter up, nobody out, and the base is loaded here in the last of 4. There's a squibber to the right side. It's through the hole for a base hit. And we are tied, and there was a load of bottom spin on that ball.
There sure is. You have the replay, Al. You look at this. He gets that, and it's like cutting I guess with a cue ball and
a squibber.
Yeah.
Put the ball into play and see what happens. So the prospects have tied it on up. Bases are loaded, and Davis Pratt is the batter. Didn't hit that one square because he didn't get it on the barrel of the bat, but he took a rip at it and gets rewarded with an RBI and a base hit. Davis Pratt fouls the pitch back, strike 1. Four consecutive hits for the prospects here in the last of 4. Gallagher ready, the pitch down and away, sinker ball. And the count is even at a ball and a strike.
It's one thing that Jordan Mcdougal was a little concerned about with his batters. It didn't seem to be consistent in the last while. They have a hot game and then
pitchers will do that to you.
Yeah, the good pitchers will do it to you.
Other games tonight in the WNBL, Regina and Lethbridge with a twilight doubleheader in Lethbridge. Brooks at Fort McMurray. Medicine Hat is at Yorkton to play the Cardinals. The ball's put into play. It's a slow ground ball off to the right-handed side. Campbell took a peek to second base, took his eye off the ball. That'll be well, he's scoring at a hit, but Jake Geary will come in to score. You kind of got to get that ball.
Now batting center field, number 17, Tanner Roundy.
I think they've changed that to an error.
Yeah.
But he'll still get a run batted in. That's Richard Sorensen, the field manager.
Here it is again. One thing you'll see here now, he wants to go to second. Can't do it, bobbles the ball, can't get back to first. Yeah, I don't think on a slow ball like that, Al, I don't think he had a chance to get a double play or even to get it to second. Should have gone to first right away, and he probably had the play.
Bases loaded, 2 runs in. Tanner Roundy, who struck out swinging, his first time along, will be the batter. Going to get a fresh arm limbered up in the bullpen of the Moose Jaw Miller Express. Got a right-hander up and throwing. I don't think he's throwing off the mound yet, but he's up and throwing. Here's the ball popped up, foul territory. The catcher, Cole Workin, coming over by the on-deck circle on the first base side to make the catch. 1 gone.
F2.
Now batting second base.
The one thing that the coaches have to be happy with is they're swinging the bats pretty well now. Now Tanner undercut that a little bit. Popped it up.
And Brendan Luther is the batter.
They'll be playing at double field depth now.
That's a fly ball hit deep enough to score the run. Here's Dzinich camped under this, makes the catch, makes the throw to the cutoff man, no relay, and in to score from third base is Javier Ramirez. Did his job. That's just what he wanted to do.
That's
get a ball on the sights
right.
and jerk it to the outfield.
Now batting the designated hitter, number 36, Edgar Harrell.
Edgar Harrell will be the batter. Any runs that score from here on in this inning, if they score, will be unearned. That should have been the third out of the inning. And here, Brendan Luther will get himself a run batted in and no time at bat. And it's a lead of 2 for the Prospects, 3-1 ball game. And a fastball is in there for a strike. I don't know if they have a pitch count here on Blake Gallagher. These 3 runs, he hasn't exactly been torched on them. He's been pinged a little bit. There's been an error. Kid's thrown a pretty nice ball game. Strike one delivery. He dropped his arm angle down and the sinker ball fouled away. Back upstairs and off to our right into an occupied seat. As you can see in our camera work here tonight, it's a very good crowd at the ballpark. Prospects tonight will outdraw a lot of short season and long season A clubs in the professional game. And it could have been a whole lot more had the weather cooperated. There's the slider. It's down and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Now, one thing here, that pitcher's not throwing a tremendous number of pitches, even if he's on a pitch count. He's had pretty good success until this inning. But a lot of these hits have been on first pitches.
And the 1-2 delivery. Ball scooted back to the mound. A comebacker. Fielded here by Gallagher, and he'll lay it on to first base. That'll retire the side. Here the prospects sent 8 batters to the plate. They score 3 runs on a collection of 4 hits, 1 error. And 2 men left on base. Andrew Peart, it's all yours.
Thank you very much, Al. Just waiting on Jordan Blundell to come out of the dugout. In the meantime, should get this in, of course, coming up on Sunday. It will be the WCBL All-Star Game right here at Remax Field. 2 o'clock, they're going to have a little home run derby. Matt Stairs is going to be here. He's going to take part in that. He's going to sign some autographs after, so you want to make sure you get down to the ballpark. You're coming to that game around 1:30, as that's really when the festivities are going to kick off. And then 4 o'clock is when the All-Star Game will commence. East versus West, Alberta versus Saskatchewan, if you will. And obviously still waiting on rosters to be announced. That should come out sometime throughout the course of the week, as right now Jordan Blundell doing some work in the dugout, so we might have to catch up with him a little bit later on. So Al, John, back up to you guys.
All right, thank you very much. Now come on to Jiffy Lube today for a Pennzoil fully synthetic oil change. No appointment necessary. Warranty approved. Earn Air Mile reward miles and a $100 travel credit. Details at jiffylube.ca. You know, we look at all the different teams in the Western Canada Baseball League. I'm looking at the Melville Ball Club. Melville Millionaires, 10-15 record. That little town produced a guy that in the 1970s and into the 80s played center field for the Houston Astros named Terry Poole. And I saw the Saturday afternoon game with Nolan Ryan threw his 4th big league no-hitter. And he threw that no-hitter because of all the balls that were caught up the middle by Terry Poole.
He had wonderful speed, had good power. He was a very, very good ball player. How many years did he play in the majors, Al?
Oh, he got a dime up there anyway. He got more than 10.
Yeah, he was up
Met him on
quite a
time.
while.
Very nice gentleman. I think he lives in Houston. But some scout saw him somewhere. And he could fly. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Big looping curveball near to Eric Merritt, who tonight has fly to center, reach base on an error, and come around to score the lone run of the Moose Jaw Express tonight. Boyd is ready to go. He rocks and delivers, drops that fastball into the zone, and he gets himself a strikeout. He went hard, soft, hard. And there he lets her rip of that fastball. He got one away. Zach Campbell will be the batter.
That's not too often you see a 3-pitch strikeout.
Soft, hard, soft. That's or actually he went
exactly
soft,
right.
soft, hard is what he did. Punched the man out on the fastball. If you throw those soft curves, you make that fastball
that much faster.
That much faster. That's what it does. The ball is belted up the middle for a single. Zach Campbell gets his first knock of the night. And the 6th on the day for the Miller Express.
And again, now Hunter Boyd will be upset with himself. He got that ball out over the plate and up in the zone a little bit. And you get out over that middle to the little bit the outside third of the plate. That's a hitter's pitch right there.
Michael Burst is the batter up. Short in the middle infield up now to a double play depth. Attempt of a drag bunt, and it's foul, strike one. Here to Burst. Wasn't a bad pitch to bunt on. It was a breaking ball. Maybe you'd like it a little more towards the middle of the plate.
It was a good pitch to bunt on, and if he'd got it down, he probably would have got to first. The bunting is a tough thing to do. And on this artificial turf, I think it's even tougher.
Breaking pitch, swing and a miss. I've often thought of bunting like table salt. Just use it sparingly.
Yeah. Exactly.
And there's certain batters you just do not ask to bunt. You're not going to ask your 4-hole hitter to bunt. At least in professional baseball, you won't.
Well, even in the lower levels, if you got a guy that's a power hitter and doesn't have good bunting skills, why would you bunt? No, you want people.
He's just going to look
it.
at you and like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly right.
And here comes the 1-2 pitch. Low and away. We go to 2 balls, 2 strikes. 6 strikeouts on the night for Hunter Boyd. This guy is an inning-eating machine. The 2 starts that I have last seen him in, he sucked up 17 innings. And what he does, he pitches very economically. He throws ahead in the count, and maybe he's got a rubber arm. This is a tough night on the batters. It's not an easy night on the pitchers. It's cool weather. And the pitch. Threw that breaking ball. The bottom fell right out of it. Get another look at it.
Now batting, first base number 12, Darryl Dahl.
Nicely done. Strikeout number 7. I think that was his fastball.
I think it was too. One thing, I think that was that 4-seamer that he's got. It's just a little bit off of the speed of the 2-seam. But he works the corners very well, and he works rapidly, as we've talked about before.
Darryl Dahl is the batter. That is the curveball and a knee buckler right there. Took a rip at it, and we go to strike 1.
That's got to be frustrating for a batter when you got a pretty good idea what's coming. He does like to throw his first pitch, the curve for the strike.
The pitch. Pulled a string on it, and it's a foul tip held by the catcher, Jake Geary. Strike 2. Prospects coming off a series in Weyburn where they did pretty well. That's a very good Weyburn club. They got good pitching, but the Prospects took 2 out of 3. Try to climb back to a .500 record here tonight. They won 7-5. They got smoked 12-0, and they won a squeaker 6-5. So they knocked in 13 runs and allowed 22, but they stole 1-2 out of 3.
Now this last pitch, Al, this is one of the first times we've seen Jake Geary have to block a ball. And we talked about before for the fans that he does a very good job of blocking low pitches. But tonight he hasn't had to do a lot.
And the pitch, a strike on a fastball.
3 Ks.
Strikeout number 8. He strikes out the side with a base hit in between. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left. Hunter Boyd tonight, he can throw that ball right in the teacup.
He sure could. Right down the spout, baby. He's doing a nice job.
4.5 in the books, a 3-1 Prospects lead. On Canada Day, it's Prospects Baseball on ICU Video. Well, the juicy skies that were overhead earlier on are pretty much on their way to the south. There are clouds overhead, but they're not rain clouds. And I guess that's good news with a 7:05 ball game here tomorrow night and Wednesday night against Moose Jaw. The Blue Jays were in action today at the ballpark in Toronto. Got smoked 11-4 by the Kansas City Royals. Cubs and the Pirates tonight. Milwaukee's in Cincinnati. Baltimore's at Tampa Bay. The Giants in San Diego, and the Angels and the Texas Rangers were rained out at the ballpark at Arlington. I don't even know if they have a tarp at the ballpark at Arlington. No, they don't at Dodger Stadium. They don't have a lot of parks in the majors. They don't need them. And the pitch. Down and away. Right-hander up and throwing in the Fort McMurray bullpen. Travis Hunt has struck out twice tonight. He was the 2nd and the 5th strikeout of Blake Gallagher. There, he humped up a little too much on the fastball. Go to 2-1.
Travis Hunt is due.
There's the slider, a swing and a miss.
A really nice slider. It looked like he pulled the string a touch on it. A little bit off speed and caught Travis Hunt.
And a changeup swung on and missed, and Travis Hunt, the 2nd, the 5th, And the 6th strikeout here for Blake Gallagher.
Number 25, Nolan Walker.
And Travis is going to be frustrated with himself. That was a good pitch to hit. And it looks to me, Al, we'll have to look at it, see if we can get that replay again. It looks to me like Travis Hunt is pulling his head off the ball just as it's coming in. I could be wrong on that.
Walker tonight 2 for 2 with a run scored. Takes a pitch off the plate, 1 ball and no strikes.
We're going to get the replay on that again. Let's look at it. I think he kept his eyes on it pretty good. Just a good pitch.
Threw him a strike and is fouled to the backstop. Here with 1 away and the base is empty in the last half of the 5th inning. Excellent crowd here tonight. Could have been more had the weather cooperated, but it didn't. I guess that's that.
Well, you know, it tells a lot about baseball fans in Edmonton. They do love baseball. And
anybody tells you Edmonton's not a good ball town is an idiot. They do not know what they're talking about.
Exactly right.
All the knuckleballs our fans took when the AAA club got sold for money.
Yeah.
And then what happened after that? No. Don't anybody ever tell you that? It's not the case. There's a ball well hit. That ball is kissed way out there into deep right center field. Michael Burst made a great run on that ball, kept his eye on the ball. It was hit out into that right field gap. We call that the 9 hole. That's a nice play by the Moose Jaw right fielder, right at the warning track.
Now, there's 2 things about that, Al. That was an extremely well hit ball, as you said. The wind is blowing in slightly and held it up. But if a right fielder doesn't get a jump on that ball and take that exact angle, that's a double. It was a tremendous play by the outfielder.
Jake Geary is the hitter up. 3-1 ball game. Prospects lead here in the last half of the 5th inning. Blake Gallagher throws his man a strike and it's foul back. Gallagher's thrown a nice ball game. He's only walked 1 batter. He's pitched ahead in the count. He's throwing strikes, and you get things happen when you throw strikes. Most of them are good. Sometimes you're going to get hit.
That's exactly right. And he had that 1 inning where he had hit after hit.
Well, 4 straight hits and an error produced 3 runs.
That's exactly right. 4 singles, then the error, and you end up with a few runs, and that's baseball. But he's pitched very well, and like you say, he's been ahead in the count pretty well the entire time.
Back to the 3 runs that he coughed up in the 4th. 2 of them were earned. The 1 run, I do believe, was an unearned run. As that fly ball that knocked in the run to left field should have been the 3rd out of the inning.
Exactly. This catcher's done a nice job for a pitcher also in framing the ball. He's helped him a lot. There's one right there.
Right down the pump. Strikeout number 7 for Blake Gallagher here tonight. And the Prospects go quietly here in the last half of the 5th inning and take a 2-run lead into the 6th. Andrew Peart, it's all yours.
Baseball is 180 years old, and quite a lot has happened since it first began.
Thanks, guys. Joined now by manager of the Prospects, Jordan Blundell. We'll start with your pitcher, Hunter Boyd. 8 strikeouts now through 5 innings. A little bit of defense behind him as well. I like the way they've all settled in.
Oh, he's doing a great job. Hunter's doing what Hunter does for us, and he gives us an opportunity to win. He's mixed speeds. He's hit his spots when he's needed to. He's kept them off balance. It's been fun to watch.
Second time through the lineup, your guys start to touch up Blake Gallagher a little bit. Some infield work as well. Just how have you liked the way the guys have handled their second time through the approach there?
Yeah, I think it's important to make adjustments, and a couple of guys have been able to do that. And, we're looking for a couple more guys to click it in and make their adjustments, and we feel good moving forward.
Thanks for this, Jordan. Best luck there.
Thank you.
Guys, back up to you.
To your neighborhood Jiffy Lube today for a fully synthetic oil change, earn air miles, and a $100 travel credit. Details at jiffylubeservice.ca. Jiffy Lube, keeping you moving.
Al, after 5 innings, Hunter Boyd is throwing 69 pitches. And of those 69 pitches, the great majority are for strikes. 49 strikes out of 69 pitches. When you look at the score, 3-1, you don't think of it sometimes as a pitcher's duel, but that's what we have here tonight. Two young pitchers doing an excellent job.
Leading off for Moose Jaw, third base, number 17, Jordy Mcdougal.
Jordy Mcdougal tonight with a pair of hits and a .342 batting average. Tomorrow night's game will get underway at 7:05. We'll have the pictures and the descriptions for you, commencing with our pregame show right about 10 minutes to 7 o'clock. Series will wrap up Wednesday night. Prospects will be in Medicine Hat Thursday and Friday. Back here next Saturday against the Okotoks Dogs. And then the Western Canada Baseball League All-Star Classic. The home run show gets underway about 2. The game's going to go at 4. Love to see you down to the ballpark. And the pitch outside from Hunter Boyd. 1 ball or 2 balls, 1 strike. Cole Workin, the catcher, and Tucker Dzernich, the left fielder. They're up here for Moose Jaw. Pitch is high, ball 3. Talked about Melville's contribution to baseball with Terry Poole. As this ball is belted out into the gap, and that's going to go for an extra base. Tanner Roundy's going to come on to get the ball, throw it back to the infield. That'll be a leadoff double for Jordy Mcdougal.
Now batting, the catcher, number 7.
Moose Jaw had a guy that was drafted by the Astros in baseball and by the New York Islanders in hockey. And what a physical specimen he was. They called him Jethro. And he played for those big championship clubs of the New York Islanders, Clark Gillies.
It is interesting, isn't it, how, again, we talked about it earlier, how hockey and baseball go hand in hand. Al Kaline, the old Tigers, one of his best friends was Gordie Howe, and he used to say that Gordie Howe used to hit that ball out of that ballpark in Detroit, batting practice like a...
Played for the North Battleford Beavers, Gordie Howe did. As the ball is fouled away. Strike 1 to Cole Workin.
Well, that's the thing. The hand-eye coordination is very similar. You need for both games.
Hunter Boyd comes to the plate with an overhand curve ball. It's fouled away up the right side now to play. Strike 2. Workin stroked a hard ground ball between short and third in the second inning. Got fooled on a pitch and he bounced it up the right side for a 3-1 put out in the 4th. Off the head of the bat, the ball hit into the seats.
Good breaking
up
ball.
on the batter.
Good breaking ball by Boyd, and the batter just got a piece of it. This is what you want batters to do, is to be able to work the pitcher and make him throw a lot of pitches.
Tying run is at the plate. There's a high hopper up the middle. Ramirez tried to pick it on the short hop. That's a ball that kind of ate him up, I would think, for a single. And it's a 3-2 ball game. He had no choice but to try to play the short hop.
He had to play it, and he went after
it. It ate him up.
It did, and the one thing he did a little wrong on that, and some coaches would disagree, but you want to get your body a little more in front of that. So if it does come up, it hits you in the body and you keep it there, and you would not have a run scored.
Curveball from Hunter Boyd, big overhand deuce, a swing and a miss, strike 1. Breaking ball swung on and missed, not held cleanly by Jake Geary.
I think that pitch even fooled Jake a little bit. Other than the batter might have got a piece of it. I don't know. But here it comes. He didn't get a piece of it. Just fooled Jake a little bit. Got off balance.
So the one-run ball game, 3-2, an infield hit and a run batted in for Cole Workin. And Dzernich is the batter. The pitch to him, he fouls it back. Hunter Boyd with 8 strikeouts on the night. Pitching here in the 6th inning. Curve ball to the outside corner, a backdoor hook. And that's strikeout number 9. Nice spin, nice break. That's a nice pitch.
He dropped that one right off. Very good pitch.
Devon Farrell will be the batter. He is the 26th hitter to face Boyd tonight. No doubt about it, Jordy Mcdougal pulled the trigger on a nice double to get the inning off. He smoked the ball. Came around to score. Squares off the bunt, does Devon Farrell, and he fouls it back, strike 1.
We've talked about this before. That ball was up in the strike zone. That's a tough pitch to bunt.
Short in the middle infield up, played a double play depth. Davis Pratt's midway at third. The outfield is straight away. Big lumbering right-hander delivers, and the pitch fouls straight back. Just missed the pitch. 0-2. Ballpark in Edmonton, 420. Straightaway center field. 340 down the left field line, 320 up the line and right. Teams who come here and have never been here before, and they see that 420 up the middle. See if I can't pull the ball a little bit. That's a long way out there. And the pitch. Curveball he swung on. He didn't hold it cleanly to Jake Gary. First base occupied, no throw. That's strikeout number 10 on the night. Here for Hunter Boyd. Threw him another hook.
His breaking ball has been excellent tonight. And he's keeping people off balance, mixing up the slider and a fastball, and then coming with that good curveball.
Alec Durenzik, the designated hitter. He was the 3rd and the 5th strikeout of 10 on the night for Hunter Boyd. Tosses a spinner in there in the dirt, ball 1.
Look at that sunshine out there now, Al. We got ourselves a pretty nice late afternoon, early evening.
It's like we're going to have a different batter out of the 9 hole. Dougie De La Cruz is the batter. De La Cruz hits the ball in the air, and that should do it here in the inning. Got a convention of outfielders there, and Travis Hunt is there to make the catch. That's off the bat of Dougie De La Cruz. 1 run comes in to score on a collection of 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Move to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Prospects baseball on ICU video. We'll have a new pitcher when we move to the bottom half of the 6th inning. So the totals for Blake Gallagher, a 5-inning distance tonight, 3 runs, 6 hits. Struck out 7, he walked the batter. I beg your pardon, that is Gallagher. He stayed in the ball game. All right. Must have grown 3 inches during the half-inning break.
I thought he tucked his hair in.
And that is why I carry White out with me when I do a ball game. I already had his totals put into the pitcher's box, but he is hale and hearty and ready to go here in the last half of the 6th inning. Javier Ramirez had a pretty good night. He's 2 for 2. Drops down a bunt and he fouls it away. Strike 1 to Javi. Got himself a bunt single in the 4th. It was a drag bunt and a real nice bunt. Here he tries the push bunt. 0-1. Blake Gallagher out of Fredericton, New Brunswick, pitching tonight. Here he turns this one right around. He belted that one real good to deep left field. Tucker Dzinich with the sun in his eyes makes a nice catch. He spotted that one well. Ran a nice route to the ball. And you see here, just as he's about to make the catch, he makes the right turn. And that sun is there, but he makes the catch.
Very good job by the outfielder.
Jake McDonald is the batter up. Every night that when I get home and I watch the highlights from the big leagues, God, it's awful hard to get a hit up there. The catches they make, that they're.
And, you know, and you had pretty well every pitcher there is between 95 and 100. And their off speed is in either the low 90s or the high 80s.
Watching the Blue Jay Royals game 2 nights ago, and the guy got a hold of one Kansas City guy, and it's a rope. I mean, you can hang close on that line. And Guerrero Jr. climbed the ladder, caught that ball, just stole it too. That ball was smoked.
You know, you go to the.
Here he turned this one around. He belts the ball into left field. That'll be a single. Here for Jake McDonald. Pulls the trigger and strokes a single to left field. You hit a ground ball into the hole, and the shortstop comes up and makes a play. Bouncing ball up the middle, the second baseman knocks it down, throws it to the. Didn't even put his hand up, right out of his glove to the other middle infielder, and they make the play.
And if you do get a guy on, they make those double plays, same type, very quick plays. You see stronger arms now at third base. It's tough.
Davis Pratt will be the batter.
You know, years ago, Al, you used to see the highlight films at the end of the year, and you'd see the catches, the deep ones, and so on. And now all of a sudden, you get that same number in a week. Outstanding plays.
Saw the umpire with his lineup card out, and he pointed to the batter, but the batter is Davis Pratt, and he's been in the ball game since the game started, so there's no change. Pinch runner, perhaps.
Let's have a look. Well, it's Ramirez, isn't it? Why would they put a pinch?
No. He runs good. Why would you put a pinch runner in for him?
That's right.
Davis Pratt with a run batted in on an 0-for-2 night. Sinker ball to the outside corner for a strike.
You know what? That might not be Ramirez. That might be Blahoviak on there. The way he comes off there, that's Blahoviak at first.
There's the throw that's in the dirt, and Blahoviak is going to motor on to second base on a throw that was off target here by the pitcher Blake Gallagher.
And he's a guy that will make that happen. He's had a number of stolen bases. He gets out with 1 foot on that carpet. His shoulders are turned towards second base. You think you can pick him off, and boom, he's back.
An error to the pitcher, Blake Gallagher, and that puts the Prospects potential 4th run in scoring position, that being Blahoviak, the pinch runner. I don't know if maybe Ramirez might have blown a tire running up the line, but
that would be Jake McDonald. Ramirez flied out, so Jake McDonald had the hit. So
Pratt fouls the ball up off the roof of the dugout in the third base side. And Tanner Roundy in the on-deck circle. Prospects were shut out through the first 3 innings, sent 8 batters to the plate, stroked 4 consecutive hits, parlayed that into 3 runs. And here they have a man in scoring position. The runner breaks for third. It's a hit and run play. Mcdougal, the third baseman, he had a hot potato, a hard one hopper. He knocked it down, throws home, and that'll be a base hit and a run batted in as Davis Pratt stroked that ball to the opposite field. That's a hard hit ground ball, ate the man up.
Look at Blahoviak come around there. He's flying. And very good move by Jordan Blundell to get a man with speed in there. And there's the difference. McDougal doesn't quite have that speed.
And around he is the batter. There he really did a nice job of scoring that ball to the opposite field. Davis Pratt, he threw a bullet. Here's the throw to second with a runner going. And Davis Pratt is dead on arrival at second base. Good throw by the Moose Jaw catcher.
It sure was. A very good throw.
Throws maybe a little bit high. But Campbell, the second baseman, gets leather on it, puts the tag down in time. 2-4 on the putout. Tanner Roundy tonight has struck out and popped up. Lead of 3, it's a 4-1 ball game. Blake Gallagher with an off-speed breaking ball, it's a strike. Swung on 1-2. Fastball is down the middle, and that'll end the inning. Strikeout number 8 for the young man from Fredericton, New Brunswick.
Outstanding fastball, tailed in at the end, got him on the corner. 1
run on 2 hits, 1 error, and nobody left on base through 6 innings. As we go down now to Andrew Peard.
All right, guys. Well, on this day, it is Canada's 152nd birthday. And on this day in baseball, we'll go back to Canada's 133rd birthday back in the year 2000. Now, I believe this was the last time on Canada Day in the major leagues that we had an all-Canadian pitching matchup in a Canadian city. It was in Montreal at Olympic Stadium. Edmonton native Ryan Johnson was on the mound for the Expos, and for the Florida Marlins, now, of course, the Miami Marlins, it was British Columbia native Ryan Dempster. The Marlins would go on to take a 6-5 victory. Gentlemen, back up to you.
That run that was scored by the Prospects in the last of 6, an unearned run on 2 hits, 1 error, and nobody left on base. Hunter Boyd is ready to go here in the 7th inning. I would assume Blahowiak will replace McDougal straight across in left field.
You would think so. Now, Hunter Boyd at this point is throwing 85 pitches, 61 for strikes. So 7th inning, he's going to be getting up into that range where you start looking for relievers, and it looks like they got a few people down there now. Don't know if they're throwing yet. No, they're not throwing. Just warming their arms up a bit.
Eric Merritt is the batter up. He waves at a straight overhand curveball.
How many times have we seen that, Al, where he starts with that good breaking ball?
Fastball is high and outside. Go to 1 ball, 1 strike. Merritt, Campbell, and Borst are the batters due up here for the Miller Express. Ball game today, just the start of the festivities. There's another big looping curveball, swing and a miss, 1-2. We'll have a musical interlude after the ball game and the fireworks show that'll follow. Great seat to watch that fireworks display, which is somewhere in the area of the high-level bridge. And the pitch. Ground ball right side, and it's through the hole for a base hit.
Again, he gets that ball out over the plate a little bit. It's pulled hard into right field for a hit.
Batter is Zach Campbell, who tonight has bounced out twice and rolled a base hit into right field. From the stretch, here's the pitch by Boyd, and it's a bunt, foul to the backstop, 0-1.
That was a pretty good pitch to bunt, and he just missed it. Out over top of it.
For the Miller Express, this is the middle portion of a road trip that started in Medicine Hat. 3 games here in Edmonton, and will conclude up in Fort McMurray. And the pitch. It's a Hunter Boyd curveball. He tried to check the swing. He couldn't do it. All game at the 1 hour and 49 minute mark here in the 7th inning.
That last pickoff attempt by Boyd was very good, and he's keeping the man close. Yeah. It'll be tough to steal on Hunter Boyd.
The short in the middle infield up, played a double play depth. Pratt just back of the bag at third and well off the line on the left-handed batter. And the pitch is not held cleanly by Jake Geary. It rolls off up the first base side in foul territory. Runner doesn't take the bait, as the lights have now come on at the ballpark. Prospects with 2 right-handers up and throwing in the pen. Miller Express with a right-hander throwing off the mound now. Boyd is ready. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Ball's popped up. That should be an easy out. Tanner Roundy drifts in and to his left, makes the catch. You've got one away.
Real good pitch. Batter got underneath it. An easy fly ball for Tanner Roundy.
Michael Borst tonight has bounced out, struck out. Knocked in a run with a base hit to right center field. 1 for 3 on the night with an RBI. Runner goes, and it's a good pitch to run on. It's a breaking ball in the dirt, a clean steal for Eric Merritt. Jake Geary did not tether the throw, and for good reason. He had no reason to throw it.
No reason to throw it, and it's smart if he had of. It could have gone anywhere. He was not in position to throw it.
Here's the 1-0 delivery, and a fastball misses upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Miller Express, a 500 baseball club, 11 wins, 11 losses. Have had 3 rainouts. Ball hit down to third base. Pratt up with it. Freezes his runner. Throws to first for the out. And the first baseman Walker rips a ball that is way off target and out into left field. No damage done. A routine play, slow ground ball. Pratt to his left, holds his runner at second base and slings the ball to first.
And this is the thing every coach will tell you. That's where you want that ball hit with a man on second. Now you can freeze him. If that ball's hit to the right side, you've got to go to first right away. And you're not going to get the guy at third unless you go to third. That's a tough throw.
Darryl Dahl is the batter. Dahl tonight has got the golden sombrero. Has struck out 3 times. Twice of them swinging, once of them looking. Hunter Boyd comes to him, breaking pitch inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Boyd with 10 Ks on the night. And the pitch. Throws a spinner into the strike zone. Nice spin, nice break on that hook. .6'1" right-hand pitcher from Moses Lake, Washington. And the pitch is put into play. It's a fair ball at first base. Walker up with it, makes the unassisted put out at the bag. That's a nice inning. I think he's going to come back out and pitch the 8th.
He could very well do it. I thought they would replace him, but he didn't throw an inordinate number of pitches in that inning.
0-1-0-1 the line totals as we move to the bottom half of the 7th inning. On Canada Day at the ballpark, 152nd birthday at the Dominion. And this is Prospects Baseball on ICU Video. New pitcher into the ball game is Nathan Slobodian. So Blake Gallagher tonight, he's got nothing to hang his head about. He works a 6-inning distance, 4 runs, 3 earned, 8 strikeouts, 8 hits, and he tethered 1 base on ball. And Nathan Slobodian coming on to pitch. Brendan Luther is the batter up. And Slobodian falls behind on the count. 2 balls and no strikes. Porcupine Plains, Saskatchewan. 5'11", 170-pound right-handed pitcher, a sophomore at Minot State University. There he throws a strike at the knee. 7th relief appearance for Slobodian here tonight. 6th relief appearance going into the ball game tonight. 7 1/3 innings of pitching. 10 hits, 7 runs, 6 of them earned. There's a ball that's bunted on the ground. Nice push bunt for a base hit. Deadens the ball real nice. McDougal was playing about wide of the bag, but he beats it out for a bunt single. There's what you call a push bunt.
This is just an excellent push bunt. Now, I'll just explain to the fans who do not know, a push bunt is a bunt pushed away from you. If you're a left-handed hitter, you push it to the third base side. A drag bunt would go to the right field side, and it's the opposite for the right-hand hitters.
Edgar Harrell will be the batter up. Harrell tonight drew a walk in the 3rd inning, bounced out and flied out. Farrell and Campbell, your double play Quinella, will shorten up. And here comes the pitch. Foul back upstairs, strike 1.
You know, it's interesting, Al, that in that last inning when Pierce Blahoviak came in and he scored that run, that is his 21st run scored this year. He's leading the prospects in runs scored.
Here's the pitch, down and away. Count is even at a ball and a strike here in the last half of the 7th inning. Travis Hunt, Nolan Walker also due up in the inning. Brendan Luther aboard on a bunt single. Lead at 2, 4-2 ball game. And the pitch from Slobodian. Upstairs, ball 2, strike 1. They got him listed as 5'11". He looks taller than that to me.
He does to me, too.
And the pitch, low and away for ball 3. Like I said, the absolute coldest I could ever remember on July 1.
It's hard to believe. It looks like fall when you look at all the jackets around in the stands.
Global warming is what it is. Colder it is, that's got to be global warming. Line drive to McDougal at 3rd base, and what a Herculean effort he made there. Both feet in the air, diving to his glove hand side, his left side. He just stole a base hit away from the batter.
He sure did. This is a tremendous play by the 3rd baseman.
Travis Hunt will be the batter up. You look forward to a new pitcher. He had absolutely no luck with Blake Gallagher. Struck out swinging 3 times.
I think he's seen enough of Gallagher. He doesn't, probably wouldn't even like to hear that name. It looked like Gallagher kept him off balance in all his at-bats, and we haven't seen that all year from Travis.
Prospects come into play tonight, a game off 500, 13-14. Have not been playing inspired baseball of late. They're 4-6 in their last 10. Did pick up a win their last time out in Weyburn. A 1-run ball game, 6-5. And they're 8.5 games back of the leader, the Okotoks Dogs. Well, we think they have a pretty good chance of going wire to wire to win the flag in the Alberta Division of the Western Canada League. Closest team to them is the Lethbridge Bulls, and they are 6 1/2 games back. Runner goes, and it's a hit and run play, and the ball is stroked out into right center field. That might score the run. It's a gapper. Michael Borst is going to try to get the ball back to the infield. You start your runner, and good things happen, and that's a run-scoring double. He didn't hit the ball behind the runner. He hit it ahead of him like he didn't hit him. But that doesn't matter. That's a run-scoring double, 270 feet of base track and 3 left turns for Brandon Luther, and he crosses the plate.
Got it into the gap, and that breaks it open again for Travis Hunt. It's definitely what he was looking for tonight. Been a rough night for them other than that.
Run scoring double. He slapped that ball hard out into right center field. And with Luther on the run with the stretch from the right-handed pitcher, comes in to score. Make it a 3-run lead. 5-2 ball game. Nolan Walker takes a strike.
And Nolan Walker's had a pretty good game tonight. He's got a couple of hits, doesn't he?
Got an infield hit. He got a base hit. Run scored. 2 for 3. The big catcher, Jake Geary, in the on-deck circle. The infield back and fanned apart. Pitch inside and low. And even the count up at 1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch. Hits this one off the head of the bat. It's a high pop fly. Ticketed on into foul territory, and it's out of play. Other games in the Western Canada League tonight. Regina's in Lethbridge for a twin bill. Brooks at Fort McMurray. Medicine Hat is in Yorkton. Melville at Swift Current. And the Okotoks Dogs are in Weyburn. The pitch and a base hit up the middle. Heading back to second was Travis Hunt. He puts on the brakes to get as far as third. Here's the throw to second base. That's not in time. That'll be a 2-base hit for Nolan Walker. And the prospects with 2 runners on the left-hand side of the diamond.
Now batting, the catcher, number 22.
Now people might want to know why Hunt did not take off early on that. That could have been caught, and if it had been, he'd have been doubled up right away, so he had to hold up.
Miller Express with a left-hander loosening up in the bullpen. The prospect's pen is idle. And Jake Geary on a 1 for 3 night, the batter. Comes up here with RBIs in his eyes. 2 runners in scoring position. And a fastball upstairs, ball 1. 1 gone in the inning. Edgar Harrell, and he hit the ball hard too. He hit it a lick to third base. McDougal dove to his left to make a nice snag. So Nathan Slobodian hasn't been fooling anybody here tonight. Turns one over and it's down and away. 2 balls, no strikes.
This is not a batter you want to get behind. With an open base, I'd be pitching him very carefully.
Geary did not reach base on a fielder's choice. Got aboard on an infield hit and came around to score. And he struck out looking. Here he turns this one right around, and it's a room service fly ball to Tucker Dzinich. Didn't have to move. Ball is well thrown by Dzinich, right on the money on 1 bounce, but not in time. And the sacrifice fly plates the run for Travis Hunt.
Again, Travis Hunt has very good speed, so a mid-fly ball to left or deep, it's going to score him.
So 2 runs score in the inning. 2 gone, a man in scoring position. That fly ball by Jake Geary hit right to Tucker Dzinich. Did not have to move. There's a big slow curveball, swing and a miss. Breaking ball in the eyes of Javier Ramirez. He's got 2 infield hits tonight, a 2 for 3. And a real beautiful drag bunt that he beat out for a base hit. Well, it's easier to catch a ball that's hit right to you. In a way, it's a disadvantage because you don't get any oomph behind the ball. If it's a ball that you can run in on a little bit,
well, that's exactly right.
You can tether a stronger throw. Curveball is down and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Now that ball was hit deep enough that Dzinich showed me a pretty good arm. He made that a reasonably close play at the plate.
It was.
A good throw, was on 1 bounce and pretty much on target.
Pretty accurate. And like you said, Ed, the other thing about him was he let it go right away. There was no hesitation with him. He didn't hitch it all. He got the ball, boom. Got the throw in.
What you want to do after you catch the ball is try to turn the ball around so you can put 2 fingers over 4 seams. That'll get you the extra carry as the pitch is in the hands of Ramirez and foul to the backstop. A 3-run 4th, a 1-run 6th, the 2 more runs across the plate here in the 7th inning. And here's the 1-2 delivery. Ground ball is fielded in foul territory by Mcdougal at third base.
Now again, this is what Ramirez wants to do. If anything close to the plate, he's got to try to get a bat on it and foul it off. That's good. Have a good at bat, pick one out, get a base hit, he'll score a run.
And the final totals for the starter tonight: Blake Gallagher, 6-inning distance, 4 runs, 3 earned, 8 hits, 8 strikeouts, 1 base on ball. Threw a good ball game. Here comes the 1-2. Ball is chopped to the left side of the diamond between the wickets of Farrell at shortstop. That's an error, and a run will come in to score. He's got to pick that ball.
That shortstop has had a tough night tonight. From the first inning on, he's made some mistakes. Had a few errors.
Right between his wickets. You got to get the tailgate down. 2 out, there'll be no RBI.
Number 6, here's Blahowiak.
And Blahowiak will be the batter up. Came in as a pinch runner for Jake McDonald. That's going to do it here for Nathan Slobodian. He works 2/3 of an inning tonight. The left-hander coming in to pitch. On Canada Day, it's Prospects Baseball on ICU Video. Ethan Soroka is the new pitcher coming into the ball game. And it appears he's making his debut, not listed on the statistical sheet, out of Porcupine Plains, Saskatchewan. Check that, he's from Kelowna, British Columbia, nowhere near Porcupine Plains, Saskatchewan. 5'10", 170-pounder, lefty out of Kelowna University.
I'll bet both those places are warmer than it is here tonight, Al.
Porcupine Plain is probably somewhere in the semi-arid desert of southern Saskatchewan. And Soroka throws a breaking ball for a strike to Blahowiak. 3 runs have come in to score. That last run is an unearned run, and the pitch inside. Nathan Soroka with 2/3 of an inning work here tonight leaves the ball game with a man at first base. 3 runs in to score. Lead of 5, 7-2 ball game. Soroka, the long, lean left-hander, delivers. Runs a fastball high and wide. 2 balls, 1 strike. The right-hander up and throwing in the Edmonton bullpen would not surprise me in the least if Hunter Boyd comes out to pitch the 8th inning. Long stride home from the left-handed pitcher, and he runs the pitch up high. Ball 3, strike 1. Javier Ramirez at first on board, courtesy of the error. There's a ball that's smoked out at a deep left field. The wind held it up a little bit, and Zerzinich is there to make the catch, and that will retire the side. So here in the 7th inning, the Prospects send 6 runners to the plate. They score 3 runs, 2 of them earned. Good on 3 hits. 1 error, 1 man left on base. The 8th inning coming up. You see that catch made in deep left field. And it's a lead of 5, a 7-2 ball game. Prospects Baseball on ICU Video. Here, good look at the new pitcher coming into the ball game. It'll be Scott Gillespie. And the totals for Hunter Boyd tonight, they read real nice. 7-inning distance, 2 runs, they're earned runs, 9 hits, struck out 10, did not walk a batter.
And he threw 98 pitches, Al, 69 for strikes.
Gillespie, a long, tall drink of water, a 6'4" right-handed pitcher. 205 pounds, Arkansas Monticello University, Sherwood Park ball player. This will be his 7th relief appearance. 6 innings of work, 14 hits, 11 runs, 4 earned runs. Walked 6, struck out 6 batters. 467 earned run average. 3.33 is his whip metrics. And the batters in the league have hit 467 off Scott Gillespie. As good a batter as has been in the Moose Jaw lineup tonight is the hitter up. Jordy Mcdougal, 3 hits tonight, including a double and a run scored and a run batted in. Gillespie's pitch is a strike on the inside half of the plate, and that'll bring it around to 1-1.
And Mcdougal also might have made the best fielding play we saw tonight.
Middle infield is fully back. They're about midway on the corners. There's a half swing on a breaking pitch, appealed at first. The umpire at first is Don Buscus. Hands at the side indicates no swing. 2-1. Pitch down and in. Ball 3, strike 1 to the batter, Mcdougal. And a right-hander up and throwing in the Edmonton bullpen. Got a 5-run lead with 6 outs to get. Strike on the inside corner. Throw strikes. If you get hit, to get it. What you do not want to do is walk anybody.
And that's shown again with what Hunter Boyd did in the first 7 innings. They got a couple of runs off him, but they had to be taken care of through hits or errors.
And the pitch. Slow ground ball to the left side. Ramirez there to grab it. Throw to first base is in time. And you got one away. Bang, bang play at the back. That ball was hit so slow. That's what made it a tough play.
And Ramirez really plays this well. He no hitch in the throw at all. Gets it and lets it go. And just got there.
Cole Workin is the batter up. And that was a bang bang play at first. Working with a 2-for-3 night and a run batted in. The pitch to him is a slow curveball from Scott Gillespie, strike 1. Again, Hunter Boyd tonight, 7-inning distance, 2 earned runs, 9 hits, but he scattered those 9 hits tonight. And he struck out 10 batters, 7 of them swinging, 3 of them looking. He turns over a breaking ball. We go to 1-1. You won't be able to fire those rockets off tonight till just about 11 o'clock. I mean, we're on the downside of the long days. We're about 10 days in since the days have been getting shorter as you see that base hit the left field. But it'll be right about 11 o'clock, I would think. You'll fire off the rockets.
There's a ball over the middle of the plate. Good solid swing, base hit to left field. That's amazing, isn't it? You think about it, that you can't fire them off earlier, you won't see them. Or it certainly wouldn't be anywhere near as spectacular. But we're getting a clear sky, and if this cool weather stays, Al, the temperature could drop another 4 or 5 degrees.
Zanitic tonight is 1 for 3. Base it up the middle. He flied to center. It was the 9th of 10 strikeouts of Hunter Boyd. Double play depth in the infield, and the pitch is right down the pump for a strike. .705 contest tomorrow night. 3rd and final game of the series. Wednesday night here at Remax Field. Prospects will move down to Medicine Hat. that beautiful old ballpark on the South Saskatchewan River on Thursday and Friday. Back here Saturday night against Okotoks. And the All-Star game on Sunday. A stretch and the 0-2 delivery. Fouled away off to the left side.
Again, Gillespie wants to keep throwing strikes, keep the ball down. Got a good chance for a double play.
And here comes the pitch, and that's going to hit the batter, put men at first and second base. It's a fastball in, and it's got away a little bit from Gillespie. The only question I would have is, did that ball hit the dirt before it hit the batter? Because if it did, it's not a hit batter. So with runners at first and second base, Devin Farrell is the hitter.
Now batting team 26, Andres Garza.
Well, we're going to have a different batter. It's not Devin Farrell, it's a pinch hitter.
Andres Garza.
And here's the pitch to Garza. It's a strike. And I am assuming he'll just replace Farrell as the shortstop when we move to the bottom half of the 8th inning. First and second base with one away. Gillespie's delivery is down and away. Garza out of Bakersfield, California. Little guy, 5'7", 150 pounds, a sophomore at Porterville College in Porterville, California. Gillespie rocks on the rubber, and he throws a strike on the inside half of the plate, right about chest high. We go to 2-2. Runners aboard. Cole working at second base. Tucker Dazinich at first. He was hit by a pitch. And Andres Garza is the batter. Pitch and the ball put into play. This is Ramirez on to Luther at second. That's one. On to first, that's two. 6-4-3, ground ball double play. And that gets it done here in the 8th inning. Pretty much tailor-made to turn 2. Ball hit to the shortstop in good order. Good feed. Makes a nice turn. And the throw is there just in time.
Nice stretch by Nolan Walker on that. Ramirez played that very well. Ball was in and out of the glove immediately. Able to turn 2.
No runs on a hit, no errors, and a man stranded. Bottom half of the 8th inning coming up on the coldest July 1st I have ever experienced. I'm telling you, this is ridiculous. But anyway, it's a good score, 7-2 lead for the Prospects on ICU video. Here in the bottom half of the 8th inning, Davis Pratt, the third baseman, is the leadoff batter. Garza remains in the ballgame as the shortstop. And Ethan Soroka, the left-handed pitcher, goes to work on Davis Pratt. That was a slider over the outside block. It's 0-1. Totals for the first man out of the bullpen tonight. Nathan Slabovian. 3 runs, 2 of them earned on 3 hits, did not walk or strike out a batter. Davis Pratt this evening. Reached base on an error and was rewarded with a run batted in. And here he leans into the pitch and nails the ball out into right center field for a base hit to Davis Pratt. And he gets his second knock of the night. Out over the heart of the plate.
Got around
Tanner Roundy, the hitter.
Got around the ball very well on that, Al, for the base hit. And now Roundy is tremendous speed. He hasn't been hitting the ball real well. I wonder if we'll see a bunt here.
Ball game right about the 2-hour and 30-minute mark. Pitches upstairs, go to 1 ball, no strikes. 4,986 in the ballpark tonight. Easily could have been a couple of thousand more had the weather cooperated. And the pitch inside. We go to 2 balls and no strikes. You got to turn the furnace on the 1st of July. Just disgusting. And here comes the pitch. It's the ball out into short right field. It's a little dying quail, and Michael Borst is there to make an easy catch. One away. Didn't get a good piece of the barrel on this one.
He did not at all. Will not be happy with that at bat.
Number 16, Brendan Luther.
Brendan Luther, the batter. Been with the club now about 2 weeks. Did not break camp with the team. Out of Etobicoke, Ontario, Okanagan College ball player. Front foot way out towards the bucket, and he'll close it off. Big knee bend. And he looks at a pitch that is low, 1 ball and no strike. Other games in the league tonight were John and Lethbridge. That's a twin bill. Brooks at Fort McMurray. Edison Hats at Yorkton. Melville play the Swift Current 57s and the Okotoks Dogs and the Weyburn Beavers in the battle of the division leaders in the Western Canada League. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That was a slider, broke late and broke low, ball 3. And the 3-0 delivery. They got the ball up a little bit, straightened it out, go to 3-1.
Now this pitch is a hitter's pitch. Pitcher has to come in usually with his best pitch.
And the pitch is high for ball 4. Edgar Harrell, the DH, the batter.
Number 36, Edgar Harrell.
On a summer Washington attends Wenatchee Community College.
I believe he's a friend of Hunter Boyd. I'm not positive on this, but I think he is.
You know, this was July 4th. With these weather conditions and the game was played, let's say, in Spokane, Washington, you wouldn't have 49 people in the park, let alone 4,900.
No,
I wouldn't blame them.
Well, I wouldn't either, but there's a special group of people, baseball fans in Edmonton. They love the game, and July 1st, special day for all Canadians. It's just good to see everybody here having a good time.
And the pitch, he pulled the trigger on it. He turns this one right around. That ball is going to go to the wall in deep left field. That will score 1 run, maybe 2. 2 runs will score on a double as Edgar Harrell nails that pitch, hits it right on the screws, a 2-base hit to left field, and that must get some giddy up on it.
It sure did. He pulled that hard, and the right fielder had no play on the ball. Tremendous job.
A 2-run double by Edgar Harrell, and he kissed it. Hit it right on the button. And the lead is now 7 runs. It's a 9-2 ball game. Travis Hunt tonight struck out 3 times when Blake Gallagher was pitching. hung in, and he got himself an opposite field double and a run scored and a run batted in. And a breaking pitch to him is in there for a strike. There's one out in the inning here in the last half of the 8th.
And the prospects' bats have come alive tonight. First pitcher did a very nice job for Moose Jaw, and prospects got 4 straight singles on them and was able to, and then an error, and was able to get 3 runs. But it's been these late innings after that pitcher left, when the relievers have come in, that they've been able to roll up the runs.
3 in the 4th, 1 in the 6th, 3 more in the 7th. Got 2 runs here in the 8th. And the ball fouled at third base. 0-2 on Travis Hunt.
Travis Hunt has not had a great night for himself batting, but the last inning he got that double and RBI. We'll see if that's got him back in the groove.
Edgar Harrell takes his lead off at second base. From the standpoint of velocity, probably the best hit of the night. He really nailed it. There's a changeup fouled away down the left side.
Left-handed pitcher coming into the right-handed hitter.
And here comes the 0-2 pitch. Fastball high and outside.
One thing you don't want to do with Travis Hunt, Al, is get the ball anywhere in the middle of the plate. You've got the power to park it. If he gets extra bases, he's got excellent speed. He can stretch a double to a triple.
And the pitch. Leaving the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Music will follow the ball game tonight, followed by the fireworks show to celebrate Canada's birthday. 7:05 tomorrow night, 7:05 on Wednesday night. And on the road into Medicine Hat Thursday and Friday. And back here to the Okotoks Dogs on Saturday, the All-Star game on Sunday. So a big week coming up. Lots of ball games. And Soroka's 3-2 delivery. Fouled off, out down the right side, now to play. They expanded the schedule this year from 48 to 56 games, and I'd like to even see 60 games.
Well, they play it, it's very similar to what a normal Div 1 college baseball season is. And it's a long season. They play most days. Might have a day or 2 off during the week. That'll be about it. Very similar to a pro schedule. Now, Travis Hunt is having a very good at bat here. Anything that he's not getting, oh, he's getting a piece of it, parking it back in the stands. It's forced this pitcher to throw 8 pitches to him.
Fully back on the middle infield. They're going to play pretty deep on the corners. And the breaking pitch will miss, low and away, ball 4.
That is a very good at bat for Travis Hunt. He worked the count, kept fouling him off at the base now. Nolan Walker's had a pretty good day out.
He had a very good day. Infield hit, single and a run scored. Pulled a trigger on the double to deep left field in the 7th inning. Came around to score. 3 for 4 night here for Nolan Walker. And the pitch from Ethan Soroka, down and away, ball 1. He's falling behind too many batters. He's not thrown the first pitch strike in the inning.
And that is just dynamite for a pitcher. Get into that situation.
Harry finds the outside corner. We go to 1 ball and 1 strike. The crowd here tonight, the biggest of the year, 4,986. That's a testament to the hardiness of the fans.
It sure is. And they're all having fun. The right team has got the most runs on the board for them.
Well, the skies have pretty much cleared overhead. The rain has left the area, and hopefully it's left for good. It's going to be better tomorrow and better on Wednesday.
Well, we hope it dries up, Al. You know, out home, people are looking to start haying, and they can't get in the fields to do it. Alfalfa crops, a lot of them are the right percentage right now to cut.
Now, I don't know if it's changed then. When I was a kid, if you cut the hay on Monday and it stayed nice, then you raked it on Wednesday and hopefully you baled it on Friday.
I
don't rake it too many times, you'll knock all the food out of it.
Yeah, exactly right. You don't want to have to do it more than once.
Pitch inside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Umpires tonight, Darren DeCander calls the balls and strikes. Don Buskus at first, Brendan Strachey at second, Devin Redekop, the umpire, at third.
There's nobody warming up in the Moose Jaw bullpen.
Nope,
so
no.
This is all on this young man.
You finish it off. And the full count pitch is on the way. Looks like he should get it out. That ball's popped up. Short left field. Here's Garcia. The shortstop coming over in foul territory. Garza dove for the ball. He gave it a game effort, but he can't come up with the ball.
That was a good effort. That ball was tailing the foul side steadily, Al. That was tough to get to. A very difficult play to make. Just about got there.
And Nolan Walker broke his bat on that pop-up. Gets a new piece of wood. One thing you notice now, just about everybody, every league, it's maple wood bats.
Yeah, isn't that right? Yeah. You don't see the ash bat much anymore.
Very seldom. I'll start it out with Barry Bonds. Swinging a Maplewood pole about 20 years ago. Here's ball 4. And Jake Geary is the batter. In the big leagues, they're on record for maybe some record amount of home runs this year. Not any individual guy, but collectively. And apparently they've rejigged the ball again a little bit. A little bit more lively rubber in the center of the ball. Wrap the yarn a little bit tighter. Where it really gets tricky is with the seams. If you don't make the seams pronounced enough, then the pitcher is going to have problems. It's like throwing a billiard ball. You make the seams too pronounced, you're going to get blistered fingers. There's a hanger out over the plate. 1 run in to score. They're going to wave in another one. The throw is up the road. 2 in to score. Men at second and third base. As Soroka gets lit up here in the 8th inning. A 2-run single for Jake Geary. And he advances to second on the throw home. And he nailed it.
He sure did. And you know, we've talked about it earlier. This young man has a lot of power, but he's finding the groove tonight. It's been a good night at bat for the prospects. Once they got into the bullpen of Moose Jaw. Because young Mr. Gallagher pitched himself a whale of a game through those first number of innings. How many did he go, Al? 6?
Gallagher went 6 innings, 4 runs, 3 earned, 8 hits, 8 strikeouts, 1 base on ball. Pitched ahead in the count pretty much all night. Ethan Soroka with a strike on the inside half of the plate. Goes to work here with 4 runs in to score and 2 runners in scoring position. And Ramirez is 2 for 4 tonight. Takes a rip at the pitch and fouls it back upstairs. Ramirez dropped down just about a textbook bunt in his first at bat of the ball game. Here's going to get a run batted in on a slow ground ball, pulled the guards of the shortstop. Sidearms to the target. Nolan Walker comes in to score. Jake Geary moves on to third.
Now batting, number 6, Pierce
And Pierce Blahowiak will be the batter as you see that ground ball out. And the prospects bat around here in the last half of the 8th inning. The left-hander comes to the plate and his fastball high and wide. 1 ball, no strikes. And the pitch on the way. It's about belt high and over the outside block. 0-2.
Now Blahowiak, he came in as a pinch runner, scored a run. Another one of these young prospects that has excellent speed.
Do it all again tomorrow night at 7:05. You can catch all the action here on ICU at about 10 to 7. Same for Wednesday night. Count of 1 ball and 2 strikes on Blahowiak. Here's the pitch to him. And he breaks his bat. The sliver of the barrel comes flying out onto the field of play. And he's going to head back to the woodpile.
You know, it's interesting to talk about going to the maple bat. Now, if I'm right, aren't those bats mainly made in Ontario?
A lot of them are, yeah.
Yeah. There's
The
one
bat
company there.
Well, the bat that Bonds started swinging, Barry Bonds, I think was made somewhere, maybe right in Toronto. And the pitch is high, 2-2. Used to be a Prairie Stick Bat company out of Red Deer, and they had maple bats. Now the 2-2 delivery. That'll bring the count full. I think you'll notice too with the Maplewood harder bat, there's been less broken bats. When you used to go with the old ash bat, and they were good bats, what you wanted was wide grain on the barrel and straight grain on the handle. That ball was in the neighborhood of the strike zone, and it's going to get rung up as a strike. That'll do it as prospects had 9 men to the plate, played 5 runs, and we're 3 outs away from the end of this ball game as we go down to Andrew Peard.
Thank you very much, Al. Standing by here with prospects pitcher Austin Kennedy. Austin going to be on the mound tomorrow, but first up from Clayton, California, how are you enjoying our Canadian summers here? Nice and chilly enough for you?
Oh yeah, nice and nippy outside, but I love Edmonton. It's a great area. Weather's not a problem.
And you've been with the team now a few months. How have you liked the way the guys have really come together? You guys are 3 outs away now from 3 of 4 over 2 really good teams.
Honestly, got a tight squad here. A lot of bad things have happened, you know, a lot of unfortunate things, but we just stick together and have fun in between games, and, you know, we get it done.
Be on the mound tomorrow. Give us a brief Austin Kennedy scouting report. What do you like to throw up there? What are you looking to do?
Looking to fill it up with a fastball, get the slider down, a lot of energy on the mound, get people going in the stands.
Thanks for this, Austin. Best of luck tomorrow.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thank you.
Al, John, back up to you guys.
So Scott Gillespie is 3 outs away. Or do we have a new pitcher coming in? Yes, we do. Jesse Ponawazic. So an inning of work for Scott Gillespie tonight. He pitches a scoreless inning. 1 hit and 1 hit batsman. Jesse Ponawazik out of Spruce Grove, attends Okanagan College. He'll make his 7th relief appearance, 12 innings, 9 hits, 2 runs, all earned, 4 walks, 11 strikeouts, and an ERA at 1.45. That pretty much tells the story of Jesse Ponawazik. Throws a curveball and a fastball. And I've seen him throw hard early, soft late, soft early, hard late. There he throws a fastball to the outside corner. Young fella's got some nice totals.
He does. He's got nice pitching action. Right up over the top. An 0-2 count.
Hunter Boyd will pick up the victory tonight, barring something unheard of or catastrophic. And he'd go to 4 wins, no losses. And the fastball fouled away, strike 2.
It's the thing Jordan Blundell and Austin Guzzo have to love about Hunter Boyd, in that he gives them always good, solid innings. Works fast, puts the team in a position where they can win the game. And then when the bats come to life like they did tonight, especially against the relievers of Moose Jaw, it's made for a pretty good night for the prospects.
Dougie Dela Cruz is the batter up, and he's gone on strikes, 1 away. And that is right down the heart of the plate, as they say, right down Broadway.
Mixed it up pretty good in there. There's a reason he's got that ERA he's got, Al.
Yeah. Above average fastball, above average breaking ball. And if you got both of them are above average, all you need to go with that is maybe a straight changeup. You don't need 4 or 5 pitches if you've got quality. There he overthrew the pitch, and it's high, 1 ball, no strikes on Eric Merritt, the center fielder. And the pitch is down and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Merritt tonight. A slide out, struck out, reached base on an error and scored. Stroked a single out into right field, and was stranded at second base. There, Ponawazik with a strike down the middle, 2-1. We got a whiskey band playing after the ball game tonight. I would think they might be selling a whole lot of that product this evening. It's not a beer night. As the ball is fouled away. I need a little antifreeze.
Al, I agree with you 100%. Some good whiskey. It tastes pretty good right about now.
Wound up by Ponawazik, and the pitch threw him a strike. The man had to take a rip at it, and it's fouled away. Much to the delight of 4,986 here tonight.
You notice on how he changed that a little bit, and the batter never got his hip through on the swing whatsoever, way behind.
Wound up by Ponawazik, and the pitch didn't get the good part of the wood on it. He gave it a nice ride, but fouled down the right side, now to play.
He did. He got the hip through on that one, but like you say, just got under it a little and a little behind.
Ball hit in foul territory down in right field. Travis Hunt giving chase. And on that wet soil right in the bullpen area. Went sliding in on his wallet. Looks like he might have lamed up a little bit. He got up in a real hurry. He doesn't want to come out of this ball game.
No, he'd be the last young man to want to come out of a ball game. But he's down on one knee. I think that, oh, you know what it was? He thinks he got some mud in his cleat.
Mud in his cleat, yeah. That's right. But playing baseball in weather like this, it's not hard to blow a tire either.
You can pull muscle so fast. And especially you saw how fast he was getting over there.
Ball hit in the air to short right field. Travis Hunt on the run in. One hands it on in, 2 away.
Now Travis is limping a little, but he's not going to come out of this game. You watch this. Plenty high. He's got lots of time on it. Calls off the second baseman. Notice how he's limping there.
That ball popped up into right as Eric Merritt got under the pitch, was a little late on the fastball. Zach Campbell is the batter up.
He was
barring a pinch hitter, we may have one.
Number 22.
Reese Helland will be the pinch hitter. Moose Jaw ball player, 6 feet, 190 pounder, out of Monterey Peninsula Junior College. Panawazic with a pitch down and away, ball 1.
Monterey Peninsula, California. One count with 2 out.
There's the pitch, and that should do it. Ball is floated out into short right field. On the run back is Luther. He, in reverse gear, put leather on it, but couldn't squeeze it. That'll be a little Texas lead single.
They're going to call that, they're calling an error.
It will be an error, and I would say that's probably a good call. That was the 4th error on the night for the Prospects. Your vehicle ready for summer? Visit your neighborhood Jiffy Lube today for a full synthetic oil change. $100 travel credit. Jiffy Lube, keeping you moving all summer long, if we ever get summer.
The one day we get it. That feels like football season, doesn't it?
Michael Borst is the batter. On a Wazic, low and away. Any runs scored now, they'll be unearned. He should be on his way towards the clubhouse.
Well, maybe Panawanis needs some work. A good pitch.
Curveball, swing and a miss, 1-1. The stretch by Panawazic, and from the long stride, he throws the curveball. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Ball game is at the 2-hour and 49-minute mark here in the top of the 9th inning. The Prospects can hold on here, and I shouldn't say hold on, just get the last out. They'd be back to a 500 record. I think the high water mark this year, there were 2 games 500 early in the year.
I think they
2 games better than 500. And the 1-2 pitch, that'll do it. Curveball from Panawazic. His first on the night, and he picks a good time to do it. His second strikeout of the night.
Really nice pitch. Got a little hook on it at the end, and got the swing and strike.
And that'll do it. The ball game is 2 hours and 50 minutes in duration tonight, in front of 4,986. A 2-run attack tonight for the Moose Jaw Miller Express. They do it on a collection of 10 hits. They commit 3 errors, and they leave 10. Prospects tonight, 12 runs on 14 hits, 4 errors and 7 left on base. I think all those errors, partly due to the cold weather, was not a tailor-made night for baseball, but better tomorrow. Hunter Boyd, the winner, as he is now sucked up 24 innings in his last 3 starts, 7 innings tonight, 2 runs earned on 9 hits, 10 strikeouts, didn't walk a batter, hit 1 batter, and he'll see his record go to an unblemished 4-0 record. Blake Gallagher, the losing pitcher. He tonight, 6 innings, 4 runs, 3 earned, 8 hits, 8 strikeouts and a walk. and his record will fall to 2-2. With the victory, the prospects improved to 14-14. Moose Jaw falls to 11-12, and Andrew Peart has more from the field of play.
Thank you very much, Al. Standing by here with our player of the game, Hunter Boyd. Just another dominant performance for you. 7 innings, 10 strikeouts. Take me through your night. How are you feeling up there?
I felt good. Didn't have all my pitches working. I worked with what I had, and it worked out for me.
When your guys behind you put up, 12 runs when it's all said and done tonight, how nice is that?
That's nice. Like I said before, people are hitting behind you. It's easy to pitch behind. It's a good time.
Hunt and Rowney making some nice plays early on in the game. Does that also help build the confidence of a pitcher when you know you got guys like that behind you?
It does, for sure. When someone's making plays behind you, you think you don't have to do it all yourself. You have guys behind you that actually want to be here and want to win.
5,000 fans on hand here to watch you pitch tonight. What's it like pitching in front of a lively crowd like that?
That's good. It was awesome. I was shaking a little bit my first pitch, but I settled in, and it's fun having these fans clap the guys out, and it's a fun time.
Good stuff. Congratulations, Hunter, and enjoy the fireworks. Happy Canada Day.
Thank you.
Guys, back up to you.
Okay, thank you very much. There you saw the winning pitcher tonight, Hunter Boyd. Probably the biggest crowd he's ever pitched in front of.
That's probably right, knowing where he played.
And he rose to the occasion.
And he's done it all year. He's a fun young man to watch pitch. But even more importantly than that, when you watch him when he's not pitching, he's a guy that's leading everybody else. He hits fungos. He does it all out here. He'll throw the ball up into the stands to the young kids that are here. He just loves the game.
He's having fun at the ballpark.
Oh, sure. He has the passion for the game. And, if all players could have a passion for whatever sport they play, like Hunter Boyd has for baseball, they'd do very, very well.
Well, here's our crew tonight. John Belmont adding the color commentary. Andrew Peart, our game host. Dave Foley on the camera. Alex Testowich, our switcher and our replays analyst. Graphics by Kyle Matz. Director Rob Zitlau. Graphics and technical coordination by Dave Foley. All you guys done a wonderful job. This is a great production this year. Executive producer is Rob Zitlau. And we'll be back to do it all again tomorrow night. As I look down onto the stage, I see Whiskey Boys is the name of the band tonight. That sounds like a good idea to me.
I do too.
Need some antifreeze.
We might have to go down to the lounge and watch those boys from down there.
I think we'll do just that. So there it is. That's a nice way to end the baseball portion of our Canada Day celebrations at Remax Field tonight, en route to a 12-2 victory as the prospects climb back up to a 500 record. Miller Express are back in town tomorrow night. We'll have it all for you at about 10 to 7 o'clock. So you have yourself a very nice Canada Day. Monday night, the 152nd anniversary of the Confederation of Canada. Back tomorrow night. Thanks for listening, everybody, and good night from Remax Field.